We the people, ABC Amber TV, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. The voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia, connecting the world from Africa. With untold stories, Africa's best. We the people, ABC Amber TV, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. The voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia, connecting the world from Africa. With untold stories, Africa's best. We the people, ABC Amber TV, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation. The voice of the voiceless, the voice of Ambazonia, connecting the world from Africa. With untold stories.
Fellow Ambazonians, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you find yourself, and welcome to this very important broadcast. As you can see, I have a special guest. This is an exclusive discussion with Tarh, and we're going to have the first phase of this discussion with Dr. Patience and beauty. Dr. Patience, good evening and welcome to my studios.
Thank you, Paddy. It's a pleasure to be here today with you.
Yeah.
And thank you for having me. And let me just say greetings to everyone watching from all over the diaspora, from ground one and from home front. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming. It's unusual that you have two persons talking in this studio, but this is we call it an August guest. Am I correct? August guest.
That's it.
And I've not been on the screen for some time. I would say this was necessary. It was an important call I had to attend to. But let's get down to business. It's been Canada. A few days ago, Melanie Joly, Foreign Affairs Minister from Montreal, sent out a communique purporting herself as a mandated facilitator of some talks we understand that has been going on among a folk we call Coalition for Surrender. And there's a lot of confusion because Cameroon has sent out a contravening statement. Before that statement, you had a group of these individuals, Coalition for Surrender, had a document to endorse this process. Even after René Sadi, the spokesperson, porte-parole of La République du Cameroun, has denied Cameroon's mandate given to anyone, we still have the United States Embassy making statements that seem to suggest, I'm talking about the United States Embassy in Yaoundé, making statements that seem to suggest that there is either a disconnect when it comes to the communication. Somebody is playing a game somewhere. Perhaps the Coalition for Surrender they have their friends at different places in Yaoundé's United States Embassy's office, and these individuals everywhere are making statements. If it be that it is a scam, then I'm asking myself, why should Anyangwe, Joayaba, Yerima, Akwanga, Sisiko sit themselves together to manipulate and deceive Ambazonians? Because as it stands, with all the documents and statements made, there is really nothing serious that was going on in Canada. Dr. Patience, perhaps you want to take a start. Let us begin from the statement of Melanie Joly. It's important that we process it. I understand the Vice President has spoken, the Secretary of State for Communication has spoken. And now I'm here with the Secretary of State for Women's Services to speak. Let's go through this document. Melanie's document, will read it and go through it. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Comrade Paddy King. That statement from the Foreign Minister of is it Foreign Affairs in Canada, Melanie Joly, came out on the 20th of this month, January.
Mm-hmm.
And in that statement, she clearly states that Canada has been mandated to be a facilitator to bring peace in Cameroon. And one thing that struck me in that sentence, in her statement, which, if you don't mind, I want to read, because I usually like to go exactly to the facts as I see them, as they're stated. Canada welcomes the agreement by the parties to enter a process to reach a comprehensive, peaceful, and political resolution of the conflict. The parties have also agreed to form technical committees to begin work on confidence-building measures. The agreement to enter a formal process is a critical first step toward peace and a safer, more inclusive, and prosperous future for civilians affected by conflict. She continues, we commend all parties for engaging in substantive dialogue. We encourage all stakeholders to support and work with the parties to advance.
Yes. Dr. Patience,
yes.
I'm not cutting you short.
Yes.
I want us to take this very slowly.
Yeah.
The words you've used, and the words say formal. Am I correct?
Yes.
And I want to believe if something is formal, meaning parties, legal parties, like the Republic of Cameroon, should have individuals representing them with what they call in French lettre de mission.
Absolutely.
So if it is formal, not because it's an Angelina Jolie or whatever you want to call her, Melanie Jolie, that is making a statement that should flatter anyone. You get it? So what is formal in whatever she said is the question I like to ask. Perhaps you want to continue reading.
Well, that's a good point. I would not even read everything. Let me just read something, but then I answer that question.
Go ahead.
It says the parties to this agreement are the Republic of Cameroon, the Ambazonian Governing Council, and the Ambazonian Defense Force, the African People's Liberation Movement, and the Southern Cameroon's Defense Force, the interim government, and the Ambazonia coalition team. These parties further express the hope that other groups will join the process. So, to answer your question, we have seen a signed document dated January 21st from 4 individuals that are supposed to be representing Ambazonia, right? We've seen the document signed by, which we can go into detail, signed by Cho Ayaba of AGOVC, signed by Yeremia of IGK, signed by Dr. Kwanga of APLM, and signed by one Dr. Taylor, which many people didn't know, representing Ambazonia coalition team. Now, when you said formal, when I read it, it said formal agreement. We haven't seen anything signed by La République du Cameroun. And until we saw that denial from their Minister of Communication, we believe that something was there, right? If we had not seen that statement that was just came out on the 23rd of January.
Now you're talking about the individuals who signed a document.
Yes.
And we had Capo Daniel, purporting and saying a lot of things. So you had Akwanga, Akurumba. These individuals all signed a particular document.
Well, what names are you mentioning? The names that signed that document were Akwanga,
yes,
of APLM, Cho Ayaba of EGOFC,
Yerima of Kondingi IG.
yes, and Taylor. So I didn't see anything with Capo Daniel's name.
No, Capo Daniel was talking about it.
Okay.
But you had Akuru. Did Akuru sign?
No. This particular statement, Akuru's name doesn't appear on it.
Okay.
So when you have somebody signing on behalf of Team Ambazonia Coalition Team,
yeah,
then you would believe that all the groups that are members of Ambazonia Coalition Team have endorsed this process.
Yeah.
And that's why they have somebody signing on their behalf.
Yeah.
And we are still waiting for somebody like Comrade Bo Herbert to come out and say, no, we are not part of this. We never gave this person permission to sign on our behalf, or even Pa Atang of Scam, or Cheps from Rouen. So there are individuals that are members. And by the way, the IG, our IG, the main IG, had technically been kicked out of Ambazonia Coalition Team. That's what they believe. So this Ambazonia Coalition Team, that is...
now, before we even get into Ambazonia Coalition Team, there is so much in this document. This document by the Canadian
Foreign Minister.
Foreign Affairs Minister. There's so much in it that we need to process.
Yes.
She is claiming to be a facilitator that has been mandated. By who?
Good question.
Is it available in that document?
It's not. But let me tell you what I think.
Okay, go ahead.
You know that for quite a period of time now, they've had meetings in Canada. Starting back, there was a coalition for dialogue and negotiation that met in Canada, Toronto specifically, 2019, and they met again 2020 or 2021. So they've been having meetings.
Now let's talk about these recent groups of people going to Canada. We had the Vice President reiterating. We had President Sako was invited. He denied because the Canadian consul or representative who called him said Cameroon was not being a part.
Yes.
That's a statement of fact. And also said that they have not been mandated to mediate. Now, as evolutions take place, what we're observing is there's a digression of public statement, high government officials like Melanie Joly making statements that do not seem to correspond. So there were chances at the time that this message came out, there could have been chances that President Sako was lying. Until Rene Sadi came out to deny.
Well, you know, in that particular statement from Melanie Joly, yes, that's her name, they also encourage other stakeholders to join. So it's very much, they're probably implying that somebody like President Sako should join, because that's what they're asking for. They know that there's a big void there. So this process may not be as thorough if these other people that are considered stakeholders do not participate. It's there in that one paragraph in that statement. So I don't think that you would have thought that the president was lying, because it really states that they're encouraging other stakeholders to join the process.
Now, the president has not denied involvement.
Yes.
From what his vice said on Monday, the president has said, he said it categorically, that if Cameroon chooses to be a part of the process, he will humbly call them that, hey, please add me into it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be a part. Now that Cameroon is there,
Yes,
that means we're getting serious.
yes,
Why am I'm intentionally pushing through this?
yes,
Because these Cameroon facilitators have been conscientizing those of us who believe that whatever was taking place in Canada was a flop.
mm-hmm.
And today we have a recent message, I think it's a tweet from Melanie,
Mm-hmm.
saying that whatever is happening is messy.
It's messy.
Please read her tweet for us.
Well, let me get to it.
You see, Melanie is just so interesting because she knows how to animate her audience. Wherever Melanie is coming from, it's appalling because she is a wonderful lady who understands what it means to do animation. Now she says she has not debunked Cameroon's statement. Renee Sadi has denied her,
Mm-hmm.
and she has not debunked it. But she has, she is kind of enjoying some other things happening here, Dr. Patience. It's amazing.
Yeah. So the caption, it's really a tweet of somebody tweeting what she said. So the caption says, Foreign Minister Melanie Joly says Cameroon peace talks messy, but should continue. So
okay, someone spoke on her behalf in this situation.
No, she's the one speaking, but the tweet was somebody tweeting her message. So that tweet is the title of what she said. So she's been paraphrased by someone. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly gave no explanation Tuesday for Cameroon claiming it never sought Canada's help to peace talks. She said Ottawa still wants to broker a deal. So now she's responding to foreign to the are you okay?
Yes.
She's responding to what the Cameroonian government said about the process.
Yeah.
So she's saying that it's messy, but the talks should continue. So we really don't know where this will lead to because it seemed to be an impasse. How can you say that there was a process where you included Cameroonian as being one of the participants, and then within 2 days, that other participant is saying that, no, we're not part of it. We don't know what you're talking about. So when they were having all this, now this is a question, when they were having all these meetings in Canada, before they came and drafted this document that was signed by 4 of the people I just mentioned, who were the delegation or who were the people representing the Cameroon government? We know the names of those who are apparently representing Amazonia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those names, Akwanga, Chowayaba, Yorimia, and Taylor. Who are the names representing Cameroonian government? Is it President Biya? Is it Golengole? Who is it? Who are those? That's the question we have to ask.
Yeah, so you have these individuals are naturally unwilling to tell us their representatives. That's another concern.
Yeah.
So now that Cameroon is denying, but you find these individuals insisting. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Cameroon contractors and facilitators are looking for something to deliver. Those who have chosen to call themselves Anglophones.
Mm-hmm.
They have been mandated actually by Yaoundé, not for the kind of peace talks.
Absolutely.
But probably to manipulate the genuine freedom fighters through their pre-talks, through the supposed pre-talks. What do you think about that, Dr. Patience?
So you're saying that these meetings have been taking place.
These are clandestine meetings, and that's why they are backdoor meetings.
Yes.
And that's why participants are not proud enough to say who they are.
Yes.
Their sponsors are not saying it. But they are claiming, one faction of it, lofty faction, is claiming that they're talking with Cameroon. And Cameroon now just denied all of them.
You know what?
So what do you think could be the cliche? Because that is the point we want to bring here.
I think that it's very possible that you have some Anglophones, right? Some Anglophones that are Cameroonians, not Ambazonians, that are there representing the government of Cameroon. And that's why this minister can come out and say that they are talking to people from both parties, or from all, from the government of Cameroon and Ambazonia, because it would be somebody who, it's not going to be somebody who is a francophone or who came from the French Cameroon origin.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be somebody who came from the Southern Cameroon origin, where when we got our independence, we were formerly the former British Southern Cameroons. But these are individuals that are one Cameroonese. They prefer the one Cameroon. So somebody like Agbombala, who is our brother, because rightfully he was really a son of the soil, but he prefers one.
No, he's a man from Manu.
Yes,
no doubt about that.
So what I'm saying is that I think, that's my guess, that those who went to this meeting and are apparently engaged in talks are not bona fide French Cameroonians.
You think so?
I think so. I may be wrong, but I think so.
So why will Cameroon be using Anglophones who have chosen to be Anglophones to do this? Why do you think Cameroon subscribed them? What do they hope to achieve in this deceptive process?
It's the divide and conquer thing all over again, because now we are all ourselves, we're still divided. We cannot come to some consensus to be able to get peace, because if those who are representing Ambazonians, the Ayaba, the Akwanga, the Yorimia, if they were truly Ambazonians, then they will not be meeting with their counterparts that are already Ambazonians but are Anglophones. Because think about it, we have not seen any document or names of people that represent French Cameroon. You've not seen anything. So I think they're only our people that are meeting, because they've been having these meetings with CDN all along. So the people like the what is his name, Akuro, and all the people like that really want one Cameroon. Those are the ones that they're meeting. So this lady that is the foreign minister probably doesn't really know the difference that well. So it will come out eventually, because that's why she's believing that they are trying to buffer peace amongst people that believe in different things. But if you're trying to buffer peace among people that believe in different things that are only Southern Cameroonians originally, you will go nowhere. You will go nowhere.
Now, Dr. Patience, this is what I do not seem to understand. You see, why do these individuals, some of them a few days ago, called themselves, they actually made us to believe that by some means they were freedom fighters. Now they call themselves freedom fighters, and then all of a sudden they are so desperate and begging to talk with Cameroon, because from what is happening, these guys are begging to talk with Cameroon. Cameroon seemingly is not interested. They're begging to talk with, now you see the spokesman Kapodani and themselves. They're actually begging to talk with Cameroon. What could possibly be the reason why Because this is begging to talk with Cameroon. Let's say Cameroon sent their prime minister, for instance, to invite these guys for some pre-talks. You get so excited about the pre-talks. It's like they have lost focus. Some believe that they have sold out.
Yeah.
And now they are still trying to claim some relevance, and they will get themselves into such a thing. Rene Sadi is saying that they're not interested, or Cameroon has not mandated anyone. That's disgraceful. Don't you think?
I think so. Let me answer that question by saying that these individuals are really selfish. They're thinking about number one, themselves. Because if they were really, really interested in what Ambazonia wants, then even though the IG that started Team Ambazonia Coalition Team, is on code right now, not part of the Team Ambazonia that went to this fake peace process, they would have come there as one. You should have had a document signed as Ambazonia Coalition Team, not as individual, because you have AGOV-C coming as AGOV-C. Why is AGOV-C not part of Ambazonia Coalition Team? Why is IGK not part of Ambazonia Coalition Team? Because they want to stand out for some reason, some power structure right there. Because if they were really interested in what Ambazonia wants, then all of them will be part of Ambazonia Coalition Team. And then this person, the Melanie Jolie, who is trying to brokerage peace, would say that it's between Ambazonia Coalition Team and the government of Cameroon.
Yeah.
And that's what President Sako wanted when the Ambazonia Coalition Team was created. You go as a team. But now you have a team, individual. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that they are not serious. They are looking for number one themselves. And mind you, that when they talk about confidence building,
you are even talking about them being serious.
Yeah.
There are other Ambazonians who think that they have sold out, but they are just mimicking to be revolutionists.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Okay.
Because way back, we remember that Akwanga had already agreed to a ceasefire. There were some tweets that.
And at that time, he was a member of
Ambazonia Coalition Team.
Of Team Ambazonia.
Exactly. And the president was really
objected to that,
and we had a statement that was out that you cannot be giving a ceasefire unilaterally when you are part of a team that has not agreed that. So he was gone. Cho Ayaba, remember, he wanted to be part of what is happening in Nigeria. He has his own goals, his own aspirations, and I hate to say this, but I don't understand why we are trusting somebody who is in charge of, who goes on kidnapping our people and is brutalizing our people through ADF, because that's what Cho Ayaba does. Why would he be entrusted? Does Melanie, Jolie Melanie, know this about Cho Ayaba? Because he should not be counted as one of the leaders if they want a leader. He has been brutalizing our people through kidnapping for ransom. So, please.
Now let's face it. The situation of Cho Ayaba is particular. I don't even want to go into that today. It may distract us. You see, we're getting into the genesis of it so that Amazonians should understand the concerns of the interim government in as far as this is all concerned. We had an Akwanga who has been unstable with his ideology. These individuals have been talking, our intelligence has it, that they have been talking with agents of John Gute. And we know that John Gute is an irrelevant in the Cameroonian government. He has no use. They are just using him. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Good. So that is it. Now, we have something which is quite interesting, and Ambazonians may really be interested in this. We also have the how do you call it, the U.S. embassy in Yaoundé now saying that they are saying that the U.S. embassy welcomes Melanie Jolie. This is just yesterday. This was tweeted yesterday. U.S. Embassy welcomes Melanie Jolie's announcement of talks to resolve the crisis in Cameroon's northwest. Now they're trying to be a little bit specific because the vice president said something. There is no conflict in Cameroon.
Mm-hmm.
There is no conflict in Yaoundé. There is no war in Yaoundé.
Yes.
So you cannot be talking about peace in Cameroon, whereas Cameroon in itself, La République du Cameroon, is peaceful.
Right.
So the United States, whoever is the agent of these criminals within that structure, knows this and is trying to be a little bit more specific. He says the U.S. Embassy welcomes Melanie Jolie's announcements of talks to resolve the crisis in Cameroon's northwest and southwest regions. Very insultive, as well as indications of support from multiple stakeholders. We commend President Biya, the Cameroonian government, and all parties to the discussions for their courage in taking these important positive steps towards a sustainable peace. This was just done yesterday.
Yes.
Now the fact is
on the 23rd.
So you realize that these are technicians trying to drown or to possibly drown. They want to drown the voices of maybe those who are now they want to drown Rene Sadi's statement. Perhaps there's a quarreling at the background.
No, not really, because it's very possible that this statement came out before Rene, it came out the same day. This statement was made on the 23rd.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, it's a tweet that came out at 11:05 a.m. on the 23rd.
Okay.
It's very likely that Rene Saudo's announcement came out after this. So two things are going on. When this statement was made, the U.S. Embassy had not seen Rene Saudo's statement, or they do not communicate. Because it's a possible, if it were that they were in communication, then maybe the U.S. government, the U.S. Embassy would have already spoken with somebody there and say, oh, I know this is happening. I'm happy you guys are doing this to help solve this problem. They would have had some sort of communication. So this tweet is only in response to what the Canadian put out, meaning that the U.S. Embassy that sent out this tweet had no communication with Yaoundé to know that, no, we are not even part of this process. This is false. So the information came out on the same day, but one before the other.
So one of these whole thing is kind of faulty.
Oh yeah.
But then these are intellectuals. They are not now. Dr. Patience, you listen to this. I'm trying to figure out, because they want to claim that nobody knows, know nothing, so they can say anything. You realize that the direction they are going is peace against all odds. Whatever will bring peace. But is that the problem we're facing? Is that the question? Is it about peace or is it about justice? Nobody is interested in the root causes. They're not talking about just the crisis. Because the crisis or whatever conflict is a consequence of the problem.
Right.
We've not heard any categoric statement seeming to address the root cause of the problem. What do they hope to achieve with this?
Well, if you were reading what maybe we want to even read what those who claim that they're representing Ambazonia, the statement from the 4 individuals. If you read what they write, I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
They say that in the past 4 months, delegates of the Republic. So this is another thing also. If these individuals are saying this, maybe we'll address this before we talk about the other question. In the past 4 months, delegates of the Republic of Cameroon and the former United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroons, Amazonia, have been holding free talks as first steps towards comprehensively addressing the root causes of Amazonia's liberation war. That is the introductory statement from these 4 individuals.
Okay.
So, right here, fellow Amazonians, this very first sentence is saying that somebody is telling a lie. Either La République, what's his name? The one who sent out the statement, Rene, either he's telling a lie or the Canadians and these 4 individuals are telling a lie. Are you getting my point, Paddy? Because the very first sentence, it says, in the past 4 months, delegates of the Republic of Cameroon and the former United Nations Trust Territory of the British Southern Cameroons, Amazonia, have been holding pre-talks as first steps towards comprehensively addressing the root causes of the Amazonian Liberation War. So you ask the question, what are they meeting for? They are telling us that they want to address the root causes. Is that true?
That they want to address the root causes.
Yes, that's what they say in this.
So why now, if they are genuine about that,
Mm-hmm.
why ignore due process and protocols? So that brings us, and this document was signed by Akwanga, Cho Ayaba, Yerima,
and the Taylor,
and a certain Taylor of a certain Amazonia coalition. So you see, these guys are deceptive, using titles to give some relevance to themselves, and what is of substance they are ignoring, because the document, every document these individuals are signing is a manipulation. Don't you think so?
Yeah, because in fact, the only way they can advert the contradiction that is going on right now, the only way they can come out and say that, okay, La République is telling a lie, is for them to mention the names of those they've been meeting with, because they would know. If they've been having pre-talks, they know the individuals they've been meeting with, right?
Yeah.
Why should it be a secret? Why don't come
according to this
yeah,
document,
yeah,
in the past 4 months, delegates of the Republic of Cameroon,
yes,
and the former United Nations Trust Territory
mm-hmm.
of the British Southern Cameroons
Mm-hmm.
have been holding pre-talks as first steps towards comprehensively addressing the root causes of the Amazonian Liberation War. Lies.
Yeah, that's a major statement right there.
So
yeah.
let these delegates
Mm-hmm.
come with lettre de mission.
Yes.
So that we can examine this. It says, in the presence of the United Nations observer,
Yes.
both parties have signed a joint declaration of commitment, committing to a negotiated process from which a comprehensive negotiated settlement shall emanate, and mandated Canada as the facilitator of this process.
Okay, that's the other way to
So,
get the facilitator.
Now, let's understand something.
Yeah.
Facilitator, mediator, they have no difference when it comes to conflict resolutions. They are interchangeably used. Now, a facilitator and a facilitator always talks to both parties.
I disagree with you on that.
Now, what do you think could be the difference?
Well, I think, or I believe, I'm not a politician, I'm not a legal scholar, but I think a mediator carries more weight in the peace process.
What weight? If that's what that's the difference.
Okay,
people
a facilitator gives you the location, gives you the facilities, and have you solve your problem. between the two of you. A mediator will give examples and tell you that maybe if you do it this way, this will happen, or consider this, consider. They give you they give you directions.
But okay, what I thought you were going to say is that perhaps the mediator comes to the point of settlements by putting some dictates. But this is the point. The facilitator provides resources, which you're right. Also provide advice and also help the individuals on how to negotiate. But a mediator plays a bigger role.
Absolutely.
By possibly setting certain conditions or standards that are obligatorily going to be met. Now, whichever way, they are those are words, because if you look at it keenly, they're not ignorant of those words. These words are interchangeably used. You get it, Dr. Patience? If you look at it very well, it says, we take opportunity to thank our delegates from their steadfastness and dedication. So you find these individuals who have decided to deceive Amazonians proudly coming to talk of who they are and talking about themselves. But then Cameroon's representatives, this is where you see there's a scam.
Yes.
Cameroon's representatives are nowhere to be found.
Absolutely.
That's why. But there's also something I'd like you to realize, Dr. Patience. This is what I want you to notice. Rene Sadi said they have not mandated. This statement didn't say Cameroon mandated. Let's read it. Okay. It says, in the presence of the United Nations as observer, both parties have signed a joint declaration of commitment, committing to a negotiated process from which a comprehensive negotiated settlement shall emanate, and mandated Canada as. So who were those who mandated Canada?
But that is,
now, let me finish.
Yeah.
These individuals who mandated Canada are not La République du Cameroun. The both parties there they are talking about are the UN observers. And they say the presence of the United States observers.
No, they are saying that they, Amazonia on one side,
yes,
with all those names that signed,
yeah,
and
they have mandated Canada.
Exactly, and also La République du Cameroun.
So La République du Cameroun is saying that they have not mandated Canada.
Absolutely, and
it also does not deny that La République is not denying La République's involvement in Pretoria.
But let's read what they say. Let's read what Rene said.
I think we should go into it.
Yeah,
Rene cannot be serious.
Let's read exactly what he said, because that will, even from his very first sentence. I have it here if you want me to read it.
You're talking about Rene Sadi's statement?
Yes.
Okay, let's go through that.
Yeah.
Let's go through it.
Because he says, and this statement came out January 23rd.
Yeah.
It says, following recent information disseminated by certain media, the government of the Republic of Cameroon informs national and international community that it has not entrusted any foreign country or external entity with any role of mediator or facilitator to settle the crisis in the Northwest and Southwest regions. When you read this own statement, it's opposite to the statement from the other people, from the one signed by Cho Ayaba or the like. So what does that tell you?
Now, at the end of the day, there has been pre-talks. We cannot deny that.
Yes.
Okay. Let us not call it pre-talks. There has been talks, discussion.
Yes.
Because when you call it pre-talks, it's like you have a major talk. You guys have been talking and related. So let me make that correction there. There has been talks. But who are they talking with? The officials from the Cameroon government. You must know what the Cameroonian government is. The Cameroonian government has mafia individuals who can do a deal and deny it. The Cameroonian government sends them to do things and deny. They don't go with mission order or mission statements. You must understand that the Cameroonian government has enablers purporting themselves as Ambazonians. You must understand that the Cameroonian government also has Anglophones purporting themselves as Southern Cameroonians, and they would do anything to maintain their interest within the Cameroon system. So there are chances that René Sadi, who is a very relevant element in that government, and Bellinger and the others, those real people within the government were not available in the pre-talks, in quotes, in their pre-talks. Or perhaps they really never had the intention of having a talk that will lead to any reasonable process of fairness or justice and then peace. They just wanted a manipulation.
Yes, just
because you're rushing into peace talks when we do not understand in reality those who are involved. What do you think?
You know, in that same document that we just read, yes, there's a paragraph that may confirm what you're just saying. It says, the government of the Republic thanks friendly countries and international institutions for the interest they take in our country and for the multifaceted support they provide. So this paragraph somehow may be considered a little bit contradictory to their first statement, because it's almost saying that, yes, there are some foreign countries that are interested. So maybe this is what Canada is doing. And they're thanking Canada. Although in their first sentence, they say that, no, we are not part of what they are saying.
Yeah.
So in that sense, maybe it's just a tactic to string us along while they continue to do what they do best, continue to kill our people, continue to try to weaken us, our spirit, and think that as time goes on, we will give up. That's the game they're playing.
You know, but what amazes me is the statement of the U.S. ambassador, or whoever he calls himself. That is what amazes me. He makes a very, very categorical statement. Very, very, very categorical statement. And this is what he has to say. Let's go through it again. You know, it's like superimposing the U.S. presence into some certain peace talks. So the U.S. embassy welcomes, and I'm appreciating the fact that he didn't say the U.S. government. He said the U.S. embassy in Yaoundé actually welcomes Melanie Joly's announcement of talks to resolve the crisis in Cameroon's northwest and southwest region. Is this how the United States of America, I need to ask whoever is there, the ambassador, is this how the United States of America got their independence?
So
This is disgraceful, you know.
You know, I think this is just a reaction from what is going on. I don't think that it's something that they had to go take the opinion of the American government towards what's happening in Canada. I think this was just a reaction that, oh, if the Canadian Foreign Affairs Minister can put out a statement that they are doing this, then okay, the ambassador can just send a tweet that is very
so it's their mafia.
It's an innocent tweet, really, because you can interpret it whatever way you want. So it doesn't really, it's not binding to them. It's just something that, oh, somebody is trying to help. Thank you for trying to help. But it's not saying that the United States is 100% supportive of what the Canadian is doing, and because of that, we're doing X, Y, Z. We haven't seen anything of that nature. You know.
Okay, Dr. Passion, we've examined this from all different angles.
Yeah.
You used to be a member of, or you're still a member of Team Amazonia. I want to ask you a very serious question. This whole Taylor talking on behalf of Team Ambazonia. How do you guys in Team Ambazonia planning to handle such a funny situation? Because Angelina said himself, it is messy.
You know, I think Dr. Elad and Mawini, because before all these things happening, Mawini is really the current chair of Team Ambazonia. I'm sure they'll come up with a statement
in that regard.
But if I were to make a comment based on what I know that Taylor is also a member of APLM and / Sokadef. They come together. And APLM, African People's Liberation Movement, which came about from Dr. Kwanga, shows that probably he had already given up. I don't know why you go make a movement called African People Liberation Movement when you're still trying to liberate your own people. It should have been Ambazonians People Liberation Movement, if you ask me. But it's neither here nor there. That's his.
Well, people have their vision, and we will not decide for them. But their decisions also define who they are.
Exactly.
And there's just a whole lot about Akwanga, Cho, Ayaba, Akuru superimposing himself and creating a consortium that we do not even know where it was existing.
Yeah. But I digress. Let me go back. So this Taylor, in fact, why would he sign a document on behalf of ACT?
Yeah.
There are two possibilities. It's possible that he's the current chair because every time ACT has chairs, so maybe he's a chair of ACT. If he's a chair of ACT, then it would only mean that he's gotten endorsement by the other movements.
Yeah.
Including, and I always have to go to Bo Herbert because he's a senior person there. So
he should be able to answer.
Bo Herbert has to come out. Comrade Bo Herbert, if you're listening to my patients right now, to the Ambazonian people, you probably have to come out with a statement telling us.
Or we will conclude that we are silent as compliance.
Yes. Telling the people that you knew about everything that was going on and you're part of it.
Yeah.
Please. And then there are other people there that I don't think they're that, because they have members that are just two-man team. There's chefs from Rouen. I don't even know what they do. There's Paatang has a history because Scam did a lot for the struggle in the past. So he's also there. Paatang also is a responsible somebody. He can come up with a statement and say that Scam supports the initiative of the Canadian to broker peace, but it's just too chaotic. It smells fishy to me. What is happening?
Okay, I'm so happy that you would have to say this. We're about exceeding our time, so I want to ask you the last few questions.
Okay.
From your survey on diplomacy, what would you advise the interim government? Because these are perilous times. The attack is in different dimensions and so serious. What would you advise the interim government to do?
Okay. There have been statements made by people like Professor Anyangwe. Even in this statement that came out from Melanie Jolie and some other things that I read, that they're encouraging, we are planning to have what they call confidence building measures. And confidence building measures is things that are done. I'm not a diplomat again, so I may not explain as well as somebody in political science or an illegal mind will do. Mm-hmm. But they are instruments that are used to show goodwill from both sides. You do one, I do the other. For example, if La République were to decide to release prisoners of conscience, then Ambazonia will say, okay, because you've done that good deed, we may decide to stop ghost towns. My advice, to answer your question, to the interim government would be to start working diligently behind the scenes to build the technical teams that we would need, because this government, President
knows exactly what to do.
this government will be the one to book up to work to get a negotiated settlement for Amazonia. Our goal is to be recognized as a 55th nation in Africa.
Wow.
That's our goal, nothing less. So this government has to be doing some work behind the scenes. And we should never, ever let go of Ghost Town. We should never let go of Country Sunday. That should never be one of the confidence building measures that we abide to. Country Sundays is the strongest power position of the people saying that we want to be Amazonians. The day we let go of Country Sunday, it means that we don't want to be Amazonian anymore. So that would be my advice to the government, to our government.
We have said all. We have criticized all. But what do you make out of the conduct of the Cameroon government? They boycotted Swiss. They send their clandestine and proxies to talk with some who have chosen to surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And then they boycotted Swiss. Now they reject this statement. Discussed by Canadian Foreign Affairs. Now, don't you think that Cameroon is just looking for a way to win Amazonia in this war, just to conquer Amazonia?
You know, they really believe that. I think they've gotten some juice, if you will. They think that because the United States of America was able to arrest a couple of our people,
mm-hmm.
They think that may give them some
leverage
to say, oh,
to comment.
Because in that statement that René sent out, he also thanked the United States for arresting some of our people. So they claim that it's that we are terrorists, and I think they are just playing a game to string us along as long as they can.
Yes, and those are all delay tactics.
Yeah, delay tactics. But there are tweets that have gone out there, and I'll refer to somebody like Thibault Nash, that say you cannot defeat the spirit of the Amazonian. We want to win this in our lifetime.
Yeah.
But if we don't do it in our lifetime, our children will do it. Or our grandchildren will do it. Yeah. Our children's children. Because the truth is on our side. God is on our side.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no way. La Republique has created so many orphans out there. Yeah. There is a child out there that is just waiting to be the person that will come out and do so much damage to La Republique that they may think that, where did this child come from?
Yeah.
You better settle with those who are here right now. Don't wait for 10 years, 20 years from now. Take care of this problem now. Otherwise, La Republique du Cameroon, as the president always says, will never have peace as long as there's no peace in Amazonia.
Yes, so he says, if there is no peace in Amazonia, there will be no peace in La Republique du Cameroon.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that was a very powerful statement. It's been like 5 years since he made that statement. Mm-hmm. And we queue into it, and we're fighting on to today. Why those who have surrendered would rather not just surrender to stay quiet. They have surrendered and have taken Nyongo money to make sure that we're all swallowed. Well, Dr. Patience, I am glad that I had you in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
We have discussed, but this is just the first part of the discussion. We will be transitioning shortly to connect online with Ochiba Nursing and War Child. And then we'll further the discussion to break down and look up. So I'll be going through tweets to see if there's any update and for us to have in this discussion. Now, what is Team Amazonia under the leadership of the new chair now? I'm talking about the real Team Amazonia,
mm-hmm.
doing to make sure that they can save the Amazonian public from such a shame?
Okay, so to answer that, I just want to make a comment. And this is something that the president had mentioned before, but I just want to echo it again so that people should start understanding the difference. That there really is a difference between Ambazonian Coalition Team that was created in 2019, September 2019, and Team Ambazonia.
Okay.
At that time they used to call it Team Ambazonia, but we're going to separate the name now. Team Ambazonia is the team that is for Ambazonia, and it's the team that is with our interim government.
You cannot use our title if you're not us.
Yes. So Team Ambazonia is the IG's team. Ambazonia's coalition team is a group of movements together that are trying to go and
preparing themselves for an eventual.
Yes. And they do not represent the people.
Yeah.
Because you have people like EGOF, you have people like SCNC, Cometa, people like this Taylor that I mentioned, Akwanga. So those are individuals that are not.
No, but when you're talking, it's like you're trying to give more credence to those who own groups. You're aware of all the attempts done with the groups.
Yeah.
And they're messed up.
So that's why I'm saying that they are not important.
Yeah.
So let's keep that nomenclature different. But I wanted to say something. I came up with this this new name for some of our IGs. I now call all the fake IGs out there La Republic IGs. So all the Marianta or Chris Arnold that we've not mentioned today, their IGs are La Republic IGs because we know exactly how they came about and why they exist. Even including IGK is La Republic IG. So that's the difference between because of the divide and conquer. So you have La Republic IG and then you have the real IG. So let's take that as maybe a differentiation today that we can use when we have conversations.
Okay, so right now we have the different IGs, and there is a tweet by Thibault Nach, which is what we should focus on in conclusion. And Thibault Nach has tweeted a lot, but Thibault Nach weighs in, and this is what he has to say. He is saying something very interesting. I hope now Thibault Nach says that it says Cameroon government denier is authorized it authorized Canadian mediation in Amazonia crisis, disappointing but not surprising. Shows split. It shows a split. Wow. In the Biya regime. And indicates sites positioning for post-Biya government. Also SAT indication that no voluntary changes likely from the regime without huge pressure. Now, Thibault Nach at the end of the day is giving a relevant information.
Yeah.
And you think Amazonia should take advantage of this whole mess?
But this is what you just read, his most recent tweet.
Yeah.
If you were to go from the first tweet that had to do with Canada, we'll go backwards from the first one. He said, I applaud Canada trying to mediate in Amazonia. But my worry, government certainly has a unified position and desired outcome, which is continuing their internal reconciliation in quotes. But Amazonia does not. Shouldn't they quickly agree on what outcome they want? Else, guess who wins? That was his first tweet when the message came out that the Canadians were trying to mediate or facilitate whatever word you want to use.
Yeah.
And then the next tweet, the first one was on the 23rd in the morning, and then the same day on the 22nd in the morning, and the same day in the afternoon, he came out with this tweet that is more like a poke to a nose. How many Amazonia IGs does it take to change a light bulb? A can't be done since they argue over who holds ladder and who turns bulb. Seriously, if there was a real referendum, the people on the ground could pick their leaders instead of leaders picking their people. And then this last tweet that you just read was from the 24th, just yesterday in the morning.
Yeah.
In response to the fact that the government denied that it authorized Canada to mediate in the Amazonia crisis. But one thing you need to give credit to Tibonash is that he's been referring to us as Amazonia now for a long time. There's a show that I did on the Horizon that I followed his tweets for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He used to refer to us as Anglophones, Southern Cameroonians, and then progressively he started referring to us as Ambazonians.
He respects our right.
And I think that is very important.
Okay, Dr. Patience, thank you very much. You have, in a way, summarized this discussion with these people. It was glad to have you with exclusive discussions. Is there any last thing you want to give, please?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I just want to really ask our people to continue to have the faith that we have, to stay resilient, to be your brother's keeper. And our Amazonia Restoration Forces, we applaud you. Thank you for keeping Amazonia safe. Thank you for all the sacrifice. And we know that this is a long journey, but you always get to the end of your journey. And we really believe that God is on our side, and we have a very devoted and wise leader who is also very godly, leading us. And no matter the manipulations from La Republic and the other Anglophones and the other people that are maybe considered traitors, we will get there. We'll get there. Thank you so much, Paddy, for having me at your studio.
Indeed, we'll get there. Everybody has spoken. The president has escalated his tweets these days. We'll be talking on that subsequently and to help us get on Twitter to tweet big time. That notwithstanding, stay tuned. And after the break, we will definitely come back to break down this show in a way that you will never believe it. Stay tuned. Fellow Amazonians, ladies and gentlemen, good evening once again, and welcome to the next segment of this important program. I would say it has been an awesome weekend. I have not been silent. Perhaps I've been silent on social media since last week, but then I've been working at the back. I just couldn't come live. Like I said earlier on, it was a necessary call I had to attend to, and fortunately for me, I had lots of persons around here. I also had Dr. Patience. You just saw her. She's just left the studio. I didn't think that she would be here and not enter into the studio. So she was our very special guest. We gave her the advantage to speak first. Right away, I like to bring my brothers. I think they've been here for about 30 minutes waiting. So we have Nelson Ochiba and Warchai who are here ready for us to get to talk. It's about 10 p.m. in Amazonia, and this is the right time for us to put this in the spirits of our people, digest it in a language they understand best. And a lot is happening. But from my vantage point, I'm asking myself, why, if it is not out of an ulterior motive, why are all the big heads, those who called some of us the journey just come, running behind Cameroon and begging for a dialogue? That's a question we want to find out this evening. So let me bring in this gentleman, Ochiba, and my brother. You're welcome. Watch out, good evening. It's been a while. Una can't find. How
Yeah,
una day?
thank you, my brother. Thank you, Mr. Paddy King. Salute you, Mr. UN, to there with me. My brothers and sisters, Mami and Papa and from Ambazonia, we don't come again with salute on. I hope so. Now they well and a good moon and know the point where they for down because at this moment it be too crucial for every family. We know so we don't we don't lost love one them. But would the praise and may God put us for the right path for Ambazonia. May our ancestors wait and there for grave. May they understand say we dey play our own part. And me and Papa then one more na understand say no matter what you want, I don't lose them. Una one na una the only one thing we go on heart. Na boyawo na one. That's the only thing we go on heart. So anybody where they at this moment where they play mago mago or you want take una for make business. Or the text will come now for debunk them, for expose them, all them within there for line. So as we would talk, I would come back again for you as I will left floor for my brother. May salute una too. Then I will come back. Thank you.
Yes, Ochiba. First of all, my for quarrel with Ochiba a little bit. There are video there over plenty, and the format the other day. I know we like for we will see how we will do the picture. The na fine video that we me I like for watch them, but we'll see how we will handle them. Go ahead, my brother.
Anyway, we'll play the one the way we fit play.
Go
Yeah, so
ahead.
I dey salute Ambazonian people, salute you, I salute Watcher, they salute everyone. We dey just tell people them say anything where it be good before it want come enter for your hand. You dey pass through a lot of rough places. They say even the road where you go for heaven, it dey crooked, it dey narrow, it get plenty thing the way they fit tempt you where you take say sometimes they go for the wrong direction. Yeah, so even a farm, before you want to harvest something, you must just sweat. Now you what they call say you dey harvest the fruit of your labor. So now the thing and that way we want to try to explain for people and a lot of events and the road past this time where it all already come tell now who like public agents them they be for here or infiltrators where they be inside here. So we can't talk today for make more details for which way they do their part where they play their role where they do them, and then for also explain certain things and how we like Roya director with my patients they talk for the how we Tibonagi they call we say Ambazonians. No be not only you one, we get American general where they call we see Ambazonians will be this, so we not be northwest and southwest will not be whosoever. So we will detail the talk today. We will explain the mafia where we know say the pass for Canada and it pass for Canada, so that me everybody know where it happen. Thank you.
Yeah, now some the video then that what they try to fix and so that me feel the talk. As you start talk about the man way na ambassador way they call we Amazonians. So something we find for all this talk then my brother as we see. One thing we observe for DBC, you get desperation. That word for grammar means say man way he now when I sabi that pigeon no worry. When man be desperate, I know I use the word. So what do we call and tell this small for pigeon? When you be desperate, we mean say you frustration not catch you plenty. You look left, you look right, you know sabi. You see say desperation there for two sides. Desperation there for La Republique side. Desperation there for inside La Republique enabler their side. Because people where they Canada now La Republique enabler they never really Ambazonians per se. So what I want to talk with if I more or sabi be say talks be there for Canada. call them pre-talks, call them backdoor talks. Talks be there. The question for that talk will be there be say, now who they be the talk? People will call themselves Anglophone. John Gute friends, they go shit down the talk. My question now is they again be say, what they be talk about and who be send them the talk? You see, Cameroon is a mafia country. We actually the chook war actually send people. Cameroon send people clandestine, not be official. See that's what be fake people because Bulu man are naturally fake man. Now when I release Satiku can't stand, talk say Cameroon over mandate no man for do something because if you go ask them well, Cameroon will give any of those guys where they go for Canada any mission, l'ordre de mission. We say Cameroon before you go for any official thing, either like a cabinet member. You get l'ordre de mission signed by the office of the president for today. Will order you to represent country for that capacity. Rene Sadi now a major element in the Cameroon government for make the statement we make up. But nothing way day today now so we be feeling a mistake the way people where they call themselves lecturer like way. Castle. Like a Kwanga, the way they don't go study all for Sudan. Like Cho Ayaba be supposed to understand say for it's a war for liberation. Where they will go about living at the kind style Karango. So how come Dr. Sako will be a journey just come? Sabi say if he's supposed to tell Canadian consul na ambassador. Say listen, if Probia know this scam for this talk or need to send people, me and Novi did it. Now now he really funny plenty. And I think say he go find Ochiba start and where he puts on talk, he say terminology,
Yeah,
not with and south. Yeah, I'll give you mine. Ochiba talk say northwest and southwest. That terminology then get if you look at the reason why they insistently call we northwest and southwest now because the intention for people there for Canada maybe not a negotiated settlement between Ambazonia. Forget the communique with Choya Basena outside. Maybe negotiated settlement between Cameroon and Ambazonia. Now for solve a problem within Cameroon. Now maybe you want Q in now, Chima.
Yeah, may just this small summary for what really happened. For 2016, 2017, La Republique ministers them, they go meet up Pata sang them for upstation for Bamenda for try for negotiate and it be fail. For them, they believe say now one Cameroon. So after that, we people they progress now from teachers reforms and lawyers reforms. They go for restoration. They declare independence. We get a government and everything. But La Republique, no one talk to an Amazonian government. We talk say we want only international mediation. They go try national dialogue. It fail because we people not be go. Remember, even Professor Mesanga Nyamding, if he talk say, they don't come up for abroad, they don't invite Ayabai people, Akwanga people, and the rest them, they day for day, they don't give a call. Every time to talk, say they endorse the talk, Yerima talk, say they endorse the national dialogue, where they want go talk for peace inside one Cameroon without discussing the form of the state or whatsoever. So now, since we insist we want an international mediation, what La Republique do, it go create some group where they call and say coalition for dialogue and negotiation. Now they go talk, say they go put some white man people for the different people where all of them they stand for one Cameroon. So that when people they will see and say white people and they different people of different countries they will talk say an international a mediator where they come for the coalition for dialogue and negotiation. It come around 2020 or 19. They go for Canada. They stick that very Canada. They go for Canada, go hold meeting for the Ayaba, Ibide, all the rest. They go to coach the Swiss people, say that if you withdraw, the Swiss then they talk say no, they're not going to withdraw. The Swiss that should not quiet. The British High Commissioner talk say for the moment what you there for table now the Swiss process where it there on top table, where it there for table. Chris Anu it be attendant, Dr. Ellat it be attendant. When we ask them say why wanna be go there, they say they want to go see who the way they did it. So Ayaba it go for the sing national anthem of Cameroon, he stand up to, we respect them. Now he talks he not be singing the national anthem, he be only respect them. He be only respect them. As I say, okay, if you go for some place like a country, why you allow me to sing the only national anthem for one country, you not go make me to sing your own national anthem. Because Ayaba, you not believe in Ambazonia. Akwanga, you not believe in Ambazonia, get the own party and whatsoever. Remember, Ayaba and Akwanga be there for prison for La Republic. He write letter of apology again for Paul Biya and Ayaba. He tell we say he don't stay for struggle because if they cook chop go again for Ayaba, if they do so. And they work together with Bala and they work together with all these people them. So when they come now, so they see and as they have the first Canadian retreat, it all fail. What did they do? They talk now say, okay, they want to go join Canadian Swiss talk, but they want to say me it be multilateral. Me be so do so whatsoever. But now another option where they start to take them now for toxic this me they try way for take over the leadership for the interim government because the Republic it want to talk now with people where they not fight them for this. So like I talk, they be sheep Ayaba and Akwanga send for diaspora for being spies them for the SANC for see a nationalist movement activities. The reporter now why that way they don't want them no collaboration, they don't want them nothing. Anything where you want to stop, they will go only against the cause confusion. So they talk now say Ambazonia and abstract, Ambazonia and this one and this. The country they be made up of counties, LGS and this. If they talk now saying that block by block. I want to give you brief history so that people know what you did. So when they come now, you will see and say that way they don't talk, say they don't go join the Swiss talk or they want to go join the Swiss talk. Then we come now, they see and say, okay, how they go do? If they go for the President Sako and Ambazonia people, they will do it with the flag for Ambazonia and everything. What did they happen? I say, they go before even then. They talk. Sime Ayuktabe, it make let's say it want form a parallel government. So the same time Ayuktabe make them, you know, make 1 hour. Bo Hebet, ye and Fontaine Nibane. They talk say they dismiss Dr. Sako from SCSC. Now the same thing where they go dismiss it, say they dismiss it from how do they call this one? They dismiss it for team up. Okay, now they go give the minutes away. They want to go jam for Swiss PhD. They move the word independence for it. So if you see today, they see and say since they don't use only the Swiss talk a day where all man a one time. What did they go do and say? They could go there, and they want go there, they get for goal egg in a position where they go compromise with La Republic. Now whether they can't fight, they talk say they want must put election, they want must do so that if they want go do anything for it will happen so. But since La Republic, if you don't accept and say the Swiss talk will not come and say now Ambazonia versus La Republic as a country. What will it happen? They wake up, they fight Chris and we can go take a chair. Where you will see some picture for them, where you will see Noel Ebini them with Chris Anu, the way they do business for talk, where they do for talk. They will can't talk now. See this me they change Chris Anu talk say me President Sako make election give power for Ayuktabe. Me President Sako make Sebastien talk the same thing. Say me they give power for Ayuktabe. Now Chris Anu now can hijack the interim government. Then when he hijack them, he will not talk now say no, he not be president, he be a comrade, he be anchorman. That means say anchorman are the position where you take a spokesperson under Ayuktabe government. So now why that you see say Ayuktabe with Ayeba and the rest, they will not settle for one Cameroon with Nador and the rest. So in order for blindfold Ambazonia people them, they pass through Kamto with Bala, with Adu Karim, now friend to the former ambassador for Canada will be there for Cameroon. Then come to his small brother, now in law. I mean his small brother, now in law for in law for that woman where it work for, where they can't put that in what a Jolie whatsoever, where they go for that foreign with this thing. So when you see say the same time come to wake up, it go talk say it will go for presidency for La Republic for go give a secret letter where it talk about this. Now the agreement where they don't go sign for Canada, where they go sign up for Canada for talk say they want to stop the war. Now whether they work at Press La Republic now they do so. They Press La Republic. All these statements when they can't hear say Canada government they can't talk say oh La Republic they pre-talks the way they be talk. They don't take place more than 3 months or whatsoever. Why Canada not be not put out that statement since that time? They can't put an announce so. When Ayub Tabi, if you go talk with Ayuno Vondo, you and Ayaba them too. It come for social media as we want talk. The next day, Rene said they can't talk say no, wait till where they talk for social media. No be not the thing where they talk, it not be the rating where we be. So now the same thing where they don't come now so for the announce this thing. They don't go sign secret talks, Chris Anu, then they announce them, everybody announce them. They target now for go, they kill and disarm fighters and everything so that at the end of the day, we not go get way for resist. So if you be a fighter, where you under ADF, where you dey under Aruke, where you dey under whosoever, or a Genuine Restoration Force, may you be on alert. Now the thing where a day for day. When I know say that woman, it get NGO like a Bobala, so you know the talk like on behalf of Canada. If you don't put that a title and say it be this person, it be foreign minister, so it be this, but it get double functions. So all this thing that the joker they make and say, oh, something not be happen, it not be happen. I be telling I say La Republic they do things that they come outside there like a rumor, and then at the end of the day you can't see where it did it. Thank you.
Now, you don't talk plenty things. I know commend it. War Child get a few minutes today. Yeah, he got to leave more time. It's say no the fee fine. So we'll give him more time for talk a little bit. We'll get just about 90 minutes for crack down some of this talk them. He get as he be. And I like the fact that you scan through close to 50% of everything we will talk today. Yes, we intelligence gets a Camto in love for that Jolie. You see, come to the big desperate. All of them, where they want back France for put them president with today. The big desperate. Come to suppose no say that be lawyer time way Ambazonia or Southern Cameroon win their government for Banjo. So it won't be deceptive for vulnerable voters. I want to talk for another day. I'm not going to even advise say we'll get into that for now because it will distract the most important thing we'll get to do. Yeah, watch out, my brother. You said you see this Canada. Why you talk the way they go left, they go right, come from, go back. Cameroon denied today. America don't send another message outside. The force say they welcome them. Question way then I say, why the fox say all the forcing never waiting. Which way they want to achieve? Now only God he wants to be. Talk, my brother.
Thank you for this situation where they down. I'm not going to talk for America on side because if you be policeman where you say you be world police, if you want handle case, you go handle the case, you go take the case. Because if your Congress House don't talk about the case, therefore don't come up, pick them, take a decision like a world policeman. If they take decision for send material them for Ukraine, if they all the allies take decision for support Ukraine, then why can't they take decision for Ambazonian case where they declare? So let's go back to this position for Canada. You see, this thing for Canada is just a cook-up. All that people will La Republic canalize them, it bring it on top that table. Mommy and Papa, when I listen this word, more will go into these people, their background, more make some small discovery who these people then be. These people then they on top that table where La Republic don't bring them. Now that very people where they there for Swiss, so they never that team act. Where they bring on top that people where they talk, say they negotiate. You ask yourself, say they want talk or they mediate or this put there for table. Now which people? You get the one where they believe now with federation. Federation. Now they think for the heart, but La Republic no federation. La Republic no now one Cameroon agenda way they. He did the one there for the hard way now one Cameroon as we talk. You get that one when a business people where they inside that group. You get the one where now only their family they would ask and say all this group where La Republic select them. It gets one the way he's saying a group where they represent fighters, where that fighters they're not they're not the fight. It since even 3 years, 4 years, they never fight for Ambazonia, no one day. You get groups where they not even fight. They don't know anything. They're on top of that table. So you get people where you don't even know their name. Some people they when then two even they represent one group. Like Ayok Tabe own group. If you get like two people inside where they represent it, you get Chris Ano own group. You get Akoro. These groups are a group for wait you ask yourself. These groups are the function for waiting. They get different idea them all this group where they do. So if you want to negotiate, check say these people Ambazonians. We were one freedom. You just say this group they represent us. No, these groups they don't represent us. Look, clearly, these groups, them, La Republic don't really mold them. Among themselves, even all these groups, where they go, they be divided. Because they don't use different money, tell them different things, call them different names. So they be divided among themselves. So they don't get no good thing if come out from this group where they inside. La Republic don't use them. As where become for insider Swiss talk, he use the groups where they be inside. Then he withdraw. He don't go this one. So it make their minister make you understand, say, they still believe for their national dialogue. That's what they believe. They not believe for this one. Because this group was just to bring them. Who they use some for bringing now number 8 in power, therefore na Celine Dion or John Guto when I call it. Yeah, Elijah Smith where they work on this group. So they work on all these groups, them all then get brown envelope. All of them get brown envelope where they Canada. These groups when they get ground envelope, they don't already be satisfied for which way they did. All them know why they be did it. May they not tell you, say they don't know why way they be did it. They know why way they be did it, and they go all day now for one flag, green, red, yellow. None of them not represent Ambazonia for day. No Ambazonia freedom fighter they inside that place. All that groups and they there for their own interests are all they represent a La Republic. So the meeting house where they did it, all they get their envelope. Don't forget, say this lady say they don't hold plenty, don't get plenty meeting. I was on 3 meetings, they don't get plenty meetings with this group already. These people don't eat for Canada. They don't sleep for 5-star hotel. They enjoy the thing. So that's why we see at one point they will withdraw Cantox and work. You get picture. Might tell you some other example. You get picture for Babila and Babila Tita they call it, and you get picture for Capo Pamela or Capo Daniel. When they take picture for Canada, one of these some of the negotiations we don't go on before this one. That picture where they take them, who where Babila represent, they present Chris Ano for inside their group. Now for they present them. That's sleeping one. Okay, now Babila in communicate which fighter for down. That's they call it say grandpa for Bali. Grandpa for Bali, what to be agenda today? Agenda now for 10 fighters, so made them put all their sugarcane down, made them put their weapon down. So made them put them down, made them not observe. Then now it on the turn, they attack the Ambazonians. It attack now we papa them. It on the turn that they burn their home, just like no pity they do. For burn various home, for go clear schools, for say ghost town, no they the own resistance will get them. The only thing will get them when he dignify this revolution. Now you were that very fighters. That's somebody calls it grandpa. Yesterday be the fight say the one liberate Ambazonia, but today it the fight against. So this now the example that was him. So more see who were you say me they say so what say show me a friend, I will know who will you be. Okay, we'll go for Babila. If they take picture of Capo Daniel. When I won, Capo Daniel represent a Nacho Ayaba. Now you get Babila away, it didn't have a Chris Ano side, it talks to me, the grandpa, the fight, me all fighter, they don't disarm all fighter them. The lawyer fighter them where they fight the ARF, where they be there for you don't disarm them. Where you disarm them, so you keep an for it keep an now for La Republic. La Republic now will come, those boys will not get armed. So at this particular part of this message, you go for defenders of Ambazonia. Mona understand say this Bulupito Betty Fang, you don't kill their brother. You may understand say they will do the same thing for you. No matter how well you do, them fool you put down say that when I don't come for peace or wait, they will kill you out of there. That people when they go take the envelope for Canada, they don't remember you. They don't take the envelope, they need them fine. They did in diaspora. Minister David Cameron, you get somebody to defend you, but who will stand for you? Who go stand for you for this moment where you drop your gun? So that they lie you. All these groups them, so they don't form them, they don't play. They get their minister, they can't talk, say, no, we're not there. Because wait till where the minister be one time from these people that their signature. You get Cho Ayaba where they come out, they cry, say, hey, that's where minister talk, that Canada person talk, not be that woman talk, no, right, he may withdraw his statement. These people don't go sign already paper. And La Republic be contented with the paper, it don't take them. May you understand, say, no Anglophone. The one where they call themselves say Anglophones, when I call and say when really Anglophones, when they for La Republic, none of them get self-control for themselves. They say self the panic because they not get witty. La Republic don't use them. So that it don't pass. It let's say you don't enter some bad house in family on a nyongo. So now your friend beg you money. You know, if you give you that money, if you want to give you that money, you give that money. But you say, come man, take you go for a place where I get that money. You go take you go put them because you know it's a place where you there. Now bad place, you go die. So the only thing if you do one for your friend, now for take it to put them, may you not die alone. Now the same thing where you there for La Republic where you don't do all this guy them. All the Anglophone, a minister or a director or a waiting, then they inside the same place. Their own aim now just to take you for Salam inside La Republic there. So more understand. But one point why they bring her inside, none of this group where you see when they Canada, they get any pressure group. They not be pressure group. They not the La Republic be content them. There was no need going there for Canada because the national dialogue with La Republic they talk, it be sufficient for back La Republic up. Because the main person where you want them for Canada become in, it be now the real ambassador, the real interim government. When Dr. Common says, Dr. Sako delete. So now the one that way he want on top table. That way you not see that particular one, not be withdraw you for the table. So what do you think say they do with these other people? These other people are hungry people. When they're on top table, they get nothing to provide. So there is nothing where they feel prove them. For ambassador, I want to understand. Other people and they inside people. Akwanga, na Bohabed, or now all of them where they can't tell you say they no sign paper. They know why they were going there. Because you need to go someplace where you know they all know the flag. So inside that hall, a La Republic flag they not fit talk anything about Ambazonia. These people not fit open their mouth even talk. Because Prime Minister na worker. Prime Minister they do na own work with a higher make and do them. And he work now for take all these loose ship them. This one and a ship to bring them back inside. And they come back, my man. There is one other point where one more I understand. If these guys that they go talk say they be team act. Which team act? What did they do with this team act? Now, for dissolve this nonsense because there is nothing like Team Act. Because inside that Team Act, it get various, all of them dead enough for their belly. It get man when a only year he picking, a woman, na treasury, he picking a secretary, in a president, all the day inside Team Act. Therefore, it control money. The other one, na the right book, that one they make, and only their family. How many ambassadors? More talk say they get followers. If you want right say. Made a right say more get 100,000 followers, you get 200,000 followers. More look that members of a Team Act. How many go get 7 for your back? Nobody even get 5. Now only that particular family go to support them. So this is something to dissolve. We not even 1 year about that thing because Male commenter who will represent, Male Chomba Akoro who will represent, Male Bala who will represent. We know all these people. And you ambassador, and also you will be the intelligent people. Look their background. More get some small DNA for these people. Them we understand who them present. So now for the interim government, now we'll talk now on what you say. They come in now, then produce their own people. We get LG and LGA. We produce our own people and be because we get all now. We make the majority 98%. Why were we supposed to go team ourselves for small group when a La Republic? We get the ball. Now we control the movement. So now we go dictate the pace. Dictating the pace, we go select our own people for LGA where they will represent we for any negotiation on top table. Rather than going for somebody like Akoro, going for this one where the head don't already be fried. Go for this one. Bro, my level so man not take plenty time. So that made
the truth for that talk we talk be say those people not only lack representation. The Cameroon, they use them now for also manipulate our own people. Number one, they lack representation. Number one, they lack moral authority. Personally, I just take one of them. This one we call itself Akurumba. I try for not use insultive word, but there is no way if you describe Akuru, we not use a demeaning word because he is a mean person. He wants that lecture we about negotiation and so you know even study negotiation. Okay, we'll leave that one first on one side. Inside this, their Canada, everything where they do. None of them nobody come out for tell we who they did Canada with them. So that we understand the capacity. More consider say these people not gonna five members you describe. Now leaders in Amazonia. Which kind of leader they prove say they be? They come up go, Pobia go send a bodyguards. In fact, bodyguards for John Gute they go for Yaoundé. They go Shidonde. Then they be excited for talks they get discussions. Or they get pre-talks. So the young way come on, one can give lecture the way no even on that. Lecture the way it want use them for confuse we. But he confuse himself like an international lawyer. Now the thing that way bad for this thing. You talk to another talk who understand and way it really they say these people inside this their Canada talk. When I look at it really be I'm like history go read which way they do them now for this thing be say inside it their Canada talk and the long and short be say not you know the day. That way Swiss be start if you get clear cut terms it be start fine. It will be between two equal parties because negotiation already day between a lower and a minor. Negotiation are people where they me and you no be negotiate for something where you video take a money now. I don't know if the statement where Cameroon make and go make these people understand say Cameroon not be interested for negotiate with them as of yet. Cameroon just want exploit them. But since that's why their objective now this now surrender talks. You know this talk, the best way to call these talks now surrender talks now, the Canada talks. Since that's why they don't surrender, they find way for belong. They will rather do it will be easy for them to do because they know that they don't fit convince Amazonian people for change their desire for total freedom into their desire of surrender. Ochiba, please.
Okay, you hear me?
I hear you. Your brother don't
Okay.
surrender now. Or you don't confuse you with them.
Yeah. I still insist, say, the statement where La Republic is sent out there, it be understand say the go sign, it was send a government minister, they go sign people and they go sign something with groups where they fight, where they claim say they be leaders because no one talk like
No,
the government.
wait to Ochiba. For just add, and then cut you up now just few seconds. For add for which way to talk be saying. La République du Cameroun talks say you don't need mediator. Or you know but mandate any man for mediate. Now because you know say if they try for lobby with Swiss, may Swiss help them to execute what they agree for their grand national dialogue. So these people for Canada don't actually go facilitate them. So they sign document as what child procrastinate. What do you think? Because now a
Yeah,
facilitation for grand national dialogue. So they don't need mediation when people want solve problem in their hearts.
now the grand national dialogue agenda where they put on. Remember, they be invite Ayaba, Ayuk Tabe, a founder with General Warana Ikeko, something like that. They will invite them for there. So they don't go for Canada. They go negotiate with people where they claim say they control fighters. So that means they bring peace. They stop fighting and bring peace in the northwest and southwest. If La Republique AB remains silent, you not put that message for outside, it will be interpreted in the international community say Amazonian leaders them they don't go they talk with Canada and with Cameroon on equal basis. So it put that statement for sure like say anyone mandate any country. Take for example when problem be between Eritrea and Ethiopia, they go mandate a country. When problem be between different country, they talk say okay, they want make peace talks. Now this country it be in charge. So if you not be put that statement, it will therefore show now say wait till where it will come out, it become on behalf of La Republique and say now two countries and they be the fight. Then they all decide now say they get for stop the fight for do so. Now the thing that he get for just downgrade all these things them. So we just talk say people they be under them. Me they know. Well statement and therefore outside the way the citizens they put them. They apologize to the Republic. For come for this team team up where watch how they come. Me I check say the way they overdo we southern Cameroonians now because we overget sympathy, good heart with people. Now whether you see say even francophone that they can't kill with people that they just say, oh now we brothers, we don't live with them for long, we don't do so. So when they form the governing council forms Kaku and all those things, they be forget for no say we don't restore now a country. That country being as say it will be composed of 13 counties. Anything that they do and they get now elected people from their places and of their various counties. So that when you want to go talk for them, you talk on behalf, if you talk for Ngoketunja, you say you talk on behalf of the 200,000 population with there for Ngoketunja. But we can't go make and say, okay, this man say, oh, I don't over suffer, I don't do so, I get my own group, I'll get my own group. Now the agenda with La Republic, it want them. Because La Republic wants a bit, when I begin calling ourselves, when I say Northwest and Southwest, when I call when I say now groups, when I say now groups or leaders. So something not begin even for exist, I mean something not even exist any longer. Again, like leaders, or groups. Because see, like this one, now them that way they try to go sell with for with people. They not be answerable to the people, but they claim say they be our leaders. Like Team Up. Who say you locate Team Up for home front. If you go for interim House of Representative, people that come on are from various LGA, you go for the, say they talk on behalf of this one. But the one that where they just did them for that, like Morris, I about them or they come and tell them for SNC. You don't hear which day they can't give accountability. Akwanga say they don't collect the amount money and so they don't do so, they don't do whatsoever. They don't even care, including person like Ayaba. Even can talk say me they not give chop for refugees because refugees then they not be victims. People who don't come out run from their place because of war. You go talk say they give money for them. So we will make sure say we will stop this thing where we call and say this thing out or whatsoever. Because now from there where it make people they go put themselves or they impose themselves like individuals. And the logical argument I say, you talk on whose behalf? You talk on behalf of your own community. So if you not be represented as a community, you go as a group. It means like Republic they talk say there are armed groups where they fight. Some groups are where they fight. You want to go negotiate with them. And then when they are only groups, they are fighting within the framework of one country like La Republic. Yes. So we therefore do make sure see so moving forward, anything we get them, it must be composed of people where they vote them, they elect them, they go represent them, they give accountability to us, so that if they perform fine, they work well, we will get the opportunity to for move and vote and remove you or recall you. You will see some people them like they commentary, they go shit down for day, they claim at them, they get for it, give election, give mandate for election for 2 years, where not be inside constitution. But whereas you ask them for, you say you are all mandate. You're unmanded now. How many years? It not be able for talk be unmanded. So
Don't even bring
that
this
is
commentary thing there because I know one vex today. Because you see that Connie I man don't cause a lot of harm for this struggle. So we'll just leave him. Whatever it do, in a point that we will take care of them.
one second. I beg me just I will forget so one small thing. Yes,
Right.
like this thing where people they talk say interim government of this, interim government this, interim government this. We get a one interim government. All those
No, they
factions where
intentionally do this interim government thing. Now themselves, they send Chris Ano. I know people where they can contact Chris
yeah.
Ano.
So we not get for the call them saying interim government of Kunigi or this. May I give example? SDF party, a day now only one and it still be one today. But people in the way they don't come over SDF, go create their own party them.
They never
Go create
listen,
their
Ochiba. The difference between that, Bibi say, this particular group of persons, Bibi na a party, Kawala come up from a party called another name. Late Ben Muna come up from party called another name. But the strategy from Yaoundé, fractionizing us, we start with Masisiko Julius Ayuk Tabe, was to split it and to confuse the international community. First of all, especially online. And whether the announcement of Ambazonians, the president has officially announced the date of the international press conference on the 31st. Whatever it will take, we have to have it because there are a lot of things that have to be put in place. So whether you like him or not, Marianta, they sent statement out yesterday. He called himself president of an IG. Sisiko, yeah, he is Tunch, Yerima for Switzerland. They represent themselves to these pre-talks of Canada like an IG. So the confusion is real. For us to provide a solution, we must accept it. Then Anus, where he knows Sabi, know nothing. He don't know left from right. He also call himself an IG. When you do you think these people are not? Let me finish. You think these people don't know Sabi say they know Sabi the legal process? You think that these people know Sabi the person where he get the legitimacy? All the one because we don't get law enforcement. So any mafia despise constitution. You can do it all mommy what they do. But when it comes to when you see all the people when over surrender, I will give Mike for watch right now. When you see the people over surrender, they go surrender for Cameroon. One of the things now because Cameroon get money for give the way, they don't get for Ambazonian struggle. In no day. Chua Yaba don't start since 2018 for the take money for Mukete farm never protector. If one go sell oil because he need money. So their interest be sent out for way. You understand what I tell you? Akuru na so another hungry man, dumb man, confused man where they talk, they do the things they do. So all the people, if you like I tell you the other time, if you put Yerima, let me tell you what is his vision or what is the vision he's representing. You ever listen to Yerima? There is nothing. Nasir use grammar like he doesn't know anything and he's not saying anything. And Cameroon define become now their strategy. Never try for sideline Dr. Zako because it talk the team for table very simple. It tell Canadian persons I don't get time for waste. Instead for me for shouldn't they strategize or win a freedom war of my people. I can't show them work talk the turn. This thing listen, all the nonsense say pre-talk not be interested. The interim government should never go to any pre-talks. We're going to make pre-talks and say Cameroon Ayaoundé no for no wait to fight for. Wait. They're not sabi the reason for the fight. All the documents come out, nobody has talked about addressing the root causes of the problem. It has nothing to do with they don't undermine the numbers to 6,000. It has nothing to do with 6,000 people or 34 or 45,000. 45,000 people losing their lives and 600 villages burned down is a consequence of the problem. America should understand in conflict resolution that you don't solve it. You can never provide a solution without addressing the root causes, which is a defiance of international instruments, an international conspiracy, and a betrayal of an experimental relationship who Papa they be choose. Say, okay, may they come join La République du Cameroon as equal parties. Maybe as subordinates. René Pobia talk say they will want them as they never come now for that equal party matter. They want to assimilate we. But they don't try to say we no day. So I want to set something straight because this thing they so all that nonsense. Me some man can tell you grammar say pre-talk. There is nothing for pre-talk. Pre-talks now when I want to find the case when I don't understand them. Ambazonians struggle be properly communicated.
Yes.
We not get no pre-talk with no man. If the way they want talk, we come with talk. Watch out, back.
Yeah, thank you. My one point for Ambazonian made you understand say now for who we pressure the go for inside La Republic. You hear Tibonaji talk for a message say therefore the regime need more pressure. This is a regime where who the lead they are gangsters. So you don't really know which gang is in power because there are fragments, there are gangs. They don't know. So if you give pressure, there is no actually an active president in Cameroon, part of Ngongo. Be at the sleep for a village, you don't even know where they. You know, be there for situation where you don't know if he there for Ramvomeka, or he there for America, or he there for Switzerland. So at this point, he doesn't know where he stand. He had the dance inside. You don't know. Sorry about his sickness, because I'm not even sorry about his sickness because he get plenty of Ambazonians away. More than 50,000 people, he don't kill him. So now God the punish he go die, bad die. So the game where they inside and say, if pressure they come for who way they go for this regime, it go now for who? It go now for prime minister. No, prime minister has stood. You don't get anything for do with La Republic. It go now for Ngongo, it go now for who? So La Republic there for place where pressure yourself, you don't know, because they try to reflect their pressure for send them for somebody where everybody give them that pressure, you send them for somebody. But all this group, as I tell you now, all this group where it happened for find itself for Canada. All this one, they receive brown envelopes. All of them receive brown envelope. After they don't receive the brown envelope, now La Republic declare those groups as part of them. Now, so it day. If you win man for war, you go do it one time. La Republic don't use money, win these very guys away they go Canada. All of them inside that group. That very people they fight. They don't say their freedom. Something there for Bible, for us who understand some part them for Bible, for Jacob and a brother Esau, where Jacob is sold a birthright to a brother. The twin, but the big one, so I may come on first. Although not twin, one they come on first, so another one. So Esau come on first before Jacob. But he sell a birthright for sika porridge, cocoa for pepper soup. He cook pepper soup, maybe some pepper soup, something, or some porridge, some stew, that even away give a job. So he brought away, they changed the name to Israel. Jacob asked and say, if I give you, you will give me away to a one job. He say, oh, you will say a birthright. The same thing, he sell a birthright, so the small one become the big one. The same thing, these guys where they go Canada, all of them inside that group. You see, now Ayok Tabe ibi say Yerima for Canada. He be there for that group. Akwanga be there for that group. Akoro, they all of them. I see some cartoons where he writes now only one person they go for the other small door. The rest people they go for big door. The rest people they go for big door. Now let's Sakoyi one we go for he decide say no go for that small door, they pass for small door. Now the same thing Bible they say road for heaven, it be very small. Satan all road a big. Now so the rest of this guy they go Canada. So far they take the brown envelope, all them pass inside big door. Ayok Tabe says be there for background. When they declare this thing, Ayok Tabe Komol can send message. He was so happy. Say, you the give pressure, you the wrong government. How many people there for your government? Akoro, how many people there? All these their groups them. Which pressure where they put down for La Republic? Where if it be say he want negotiate something they hurt you. If Jiga enter your foot, he won't call your attention. Now when he bite you, it hot for your foot. You won't move it for night before you sleep. Therefore, he ask you, may you know say he present. He announce a present for your leg. So if you don't move, you go sleep. The same thing way Ambazonians, the same thing ARF that they give pressure for La Republic. Now we pressure to make them come. So the real interim government, will not feel to give that suppression. The real interim government where Dr. Samuel Sakwe come lead, enough feel to give that pressure. Then some people that come out for background for can't harvest, for can't harvest that spoils of war. You just come inside for can't harvest them. You know the workers so. So anything we go for table, God there where you go for table, nothing no go ever work for that table because we will not be just for una how, una be just now for una belly and for una way. So if you understand them, nothing not dead. Ayok Tabe where he already we know say Ayok Tabe not the inside the system. He dey na he and Kamto. He even deny his own lawyer. He accept na Kamto his own lawyer. He start talking in French. He know say they never release it because he owe 250 million for La Republic. John Bakoro wait there for that table. He gave for do everything for satisfy La Republic because he owe less on 200 million for La Republic. Most of them not debtor. You go Christian now where you hope for your own position, say own position go come, probably he go be some minister, he go be something for La Republic. Now people this way they don't believe so they feel govern themselves. They don't even get trust in themselves. They don't believe for themselves so they feel manage their own body. Before you talk say they take we for go give on the other side. These people don't say the conscience not get them. So after La Republic don't get all this group of people, that's why they announce and say they Cameroonians, they dialogue themselves because just when they go Canada, they were no Ambazonians. The Anglophones na Cameroon. They get that passport. They don't hold that the same. They waka one so this hand wash this hand, this one wash this hand. So Yaoundé know them all say they belong to Yaoundé. And if you want to look all of them where they Canada, I don't tell you say if you find out for their background, look their DNA, look and where you go look their DNA for that people them. They get a half blood. They get na Yaoundé, na Bulu, na Nchang, na Mbunda, and like Chris Ano, na Nchang, like Cho Ayaba, na Mbunda. You want to count other people, then they can have Jomba Akoro, all of the one count and then get half blood for La Republic. They must mix. So this is the point where they we don't believe we'll get traitor, we'll get a pese inside house, we'll get some seller inside house. So not those people. Cho Ayaba them. You see all these people. You see Kapo Dame where he talk na spokesman for Cho Ayaba. He come on congratulate Pobia where don't kill 50,000 Ambazonians. They congratulate. Chief kidnappers. They come on congratulate. They will get to understand the level, the kind of people they inside with them. Someone will tie our bell. Those fighters and they still talk for now. Say it never be late. If these people that they call you, say you do and no say they don't receive money, they don't receive the envelope. And when they receive the envelope, they don't negotiate where you go there. They don't sell you already because they know say that they can't finish you now. So when they take your weapon, so you understand, say your own don't finish you inside the system. So that's all what I give for tell you, say defend the revolution still stand fine. Now only the pressure we will give them for the occupier. The occupier will run. So if you still get credit for all that people that go Canada, you don't see how your own eyes say those people will not stand for you. But no mean say they will run the revolution. They will still come up for background. They make that kind of crocodile tears, crocodile cry. They will cry. They can't. They make say me they still say they inside the system because Yaoundé another one way they use dumb you. You know they pay you all the money. If they let's say you promise a man say may work. You go pay you 10,000 instead of give you 2,000 even advance. You don't give them. You take 2,000. You tear them. Give you two half paper, give them for the person, say, may hold them. So when the deal be done, you will finish the other one. Now, so yeah, when they do them, they give them that brown envelope, half money they inside, half part for check. Where the check, they don't ever see them. That's the whole issue where they inside. Thank you, plenty.
So any man not take your own envelope, don't matter, then they do not that's where they want to do them. You see, watch I don't talk some top way. It only makes sense. Person if you look confused, you make no fun. But guess on reality way, I want me Amazon and let's see I'm fine. Most of these people, you want to ask yourself, do they really have a heart for a free Amazonian? Let's look up Kas Nanyangwe. Kas Nanyangwe, we don't always get chance for stand for a genuine freedom of Amazonia since the 80s. He betrayed me and from the form SDF. Come up betray even the cause. Today we see Kas Nanyangwe again. The pretend let's say one joint process. So they go from IG. Then he the Kas Nanyangwe want destroy the interim government simply because it is tunch. No, they are the hem. And because their objective get question mark. So the whole thing, as I tell my brother, and get to do objective. I don't want to talk more on that now because Ambazonian we don't belabor that point a lot. You get this video where it is show how authority they define. When I want to talk pre-talks or anything get to do with definition and setting of modalities. Pre-talks for the war between Ambazonia and La République du Cameroun for past 2 hours. Pobia declared war on the 30th of November 2017. Period. The people have been betrayed for 60 years. Period. Their independence has been stolen. Yes. They have restored their independence in 2017. Yes. Now they want recognition from the international community. Yes. Then have they discussion, better discussion start. Pre-talks don't get to take long. So whatever they do about Canada, may they come back and define how we. May they use the word pre-talks. May they not make a media some pre-talks on TV. Will be illiterate the way you can't talk anything. When I go, she don't pre-talk. It's not pre-talks, it's surrender talks. Where John Good, they don't send people, they want to bring them together for bribe, they may they give up. And then they work for impose or all man. Now, now looks on, watch this video. After the video, we will talk.
The issue on the Anglophone piece, I won't go into detail on that. I think the article plus the video this morning did a very good job of explaining the history of how it got to the point where we are today. In October of 2017, when it came kind of to a head, the Anglophone states said we want to actually form our own state, the Ambazonia state. There have been issues there with atrocities, issues with allegations of law of war issues, and this is something that it brings all this to a head. Over the last several months or so, the State Department has put on hold several security force assistance programs. Right before the election in October, I, with the ambassador, went and paid a visit with President Biya, and we had a very direct conversation with him with regards to investigation of these atrocities, transparency of these atrocities, and appropriate battlefield behavior. Since that time, the State Department has made a decision not to allocate significant money, but at the same time, they've released some money that's been on hold to things like Scan Eagle and Cessna aircraft that assist in the Boko Haram fight in the north. We still have programs that we continue with them, all kind of small engagements as well as exercises. We did have we talked about the state partnership program with Nebraska. We put that on hold, and in conjunction with the ambassador, AFRICOM, we decided not to pursue that because it wouldn't have been a good place for that particular group to be, so we put a halt to that. So the bottom line is right now in Cameroon, they have been a good partner with us counterterrorism-wise, but you can't neglect the fact that they have there are alleged atrocities and what's going on there. And so we continue to take our cues from the State Department and from the ambassador, and our level of engagement will continue, but not get out ahead of what the State Department would say is if we have to take other actions. We were very emphatic with President Biya that the behavior of his troops, the lack of transparency, could have a significant impact on our ability to work with them.
Great.
Okay, the one unasiole started the rakaki mbeleski. Ele started because they never man for quarter talking anyhow. So I asked myself, say, when something don't be well defined, because this man now an investigator, take no a military man. For America, before you become military man for the caliber. Now man where he don't talk based on innuendos or conspiracy theories. It talk based on proper investigation. It will present a report for the State House. So all the people where they come, they send out reports them and statement them. They still work a call people so kind of dirty name them. Now why you people? You know we can talk say 6,000 people. Only for Winikum Batibo go reach down for Manu. Now 6,000 people don't die. So what to be their strategy for reducing the number of people who don't die? For say me, you know, reach the level where they classify internationally like a company. Go ahead, Ochiba.
Well, I thank you plenty where you don't remind people and say, Balada with Chris and the rest them, they talk say they want to go for talks. Because 6,000 people that don't die, war don't go for 6 years, people for
that is so vexing to the soul. Undermining a problem, even Agbobala claims they don't do human rights reports. He first human rights report 3 years or 4 years ago, maybe more than that. So you cannot undermine a problem and then provide a solution to it. It doesn't even make sense. Go ahead, my brother. Sorry for that interruption.
Yeah, so now American general that he don't talk say the issue now say for October 1st, 2017, Anglophones them They don't declare their own state, say they want their own state, their own independence, all that thing. So it be aware. Now what way you will see say if we want meet La Republic, we know to go like groups. We go now as a government. Because even La Republic, it want come meet up us. You know they come like groups, you know they come like political parties say come to so this one I come to, this one I Cabral be so. When we tell certain Cameroonians say when we talk say with the one freedom, we want we own restoration, we don't free ourselves. Make you make sure say you understand what you be like a country. A country, it get the boundaries, it get the government, it get the population, and it want its sovereignty. So even you, when you reclaim for outside, they say, "Oh, I be for, I just be neutral. I be neutral. I hear for every leader, all those kind of things. Them. Nobody na so they do. When one country they deal with the other country, they deal on the basis of a country. Nobody na say they want to go do something like take for example, when La Republic if you go to fight with Nigeria over Bakassi, they not be go for there like regions them. They not be go for there like groups them and other kind of thing. They be go like a country La Republic. Nigeria too they become too so. So any person where they talk say they follow leaders, they do so. It means that you not understand what you stand for. You not understand what you stand for. So I check saying the only thing that I get for tell people them say we get for meet La Republic as a country, we own flag, we own national anthem, we own government, and then we will talk, negotiate on the terms of separation. Because even their map where they get their independence a day for day will not be part of them. Why they fear for can't explain how we become they then can't talk say they want to include we for their map. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. As soon as I see watch, I don't go see me go take some more rest since I say body know they is strong enough. Thank you, my brother, for choosing to join me for this program. You know, say we not even talk about representation from that light. Forget for no say Cameroon when one can get one objective. The objective now can convince or impose on Ambazonia to stay within one Cameroon. I talked to one of that enabler them, where they call them first federalism way. They say the one unity. But that means we'll go rich and then start talk for decide. It be very stupid. A lot of people don't call me like that. And I think say they just be blind and not either not wish people. They some wish they worry them. And then they find way for hide the wish. Because how do you take me or bring me, you be federalist? The very concept of federalism when it comes to this very struggle or liberation movement, it is simply talking so you one day within a Cameroon. That is at variance with the desire of people where they believe say the stolen independence supposed to be is restored, actualized, and the nation get to be obligatorily because they get a right to be recognized. So the one member was conscientized with. Another trick where they use and say they want to separate Southern Cameroon from Amazonia, but enough go. Borrow one from here, add here will not work. So my question I ask you now, Ochiba, say, as we see this matter, will people, some them be deceived? They don't already consider that we will know we want disunity. Now we know what many things happen. We want me to see how we things that happen. Someone that is here, no one donate for struggle because of what happened. But one minute no say lost today on site. Even though Cameroon the try to manipulate outside Cameroon against we. So some video they feel we Sibonage we get if we still the Cameroon that time. What I think say go find me with people watching. Forget to understand the way you go fit help them. The two are vexed with this video and I say, it gets some place show green, red, yellow. And I never really want to show them. But all the same, Namu get the message. We'll come back, we'll talk for almost the last segment of this program so that I understand some things. On stay tuned.
Situation de sécurité dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest, l'une des attentes des Camerounais et accessoirement du gouvernement, c'est l'identification de ces compatriotes qui vivent dans des pays comme les États-Unis, comme la Grande-Bretagne, comme l'Afrique du Sud, et qui, pour la plupart, financent les tueries dans ces zones-là. En quoi le gouvernement américain peut-il être important pour le gouvernement camerounais pour mettre un terme à ce type de pratique qui, sur le terrain, aboutit à des tueries de masse?
That's a very interesting question because until recently, the exile community, which was the most active.
Cette question est très intéressante. Aux États-Unis, il y avait une communauté qui était très active. C'était la communauté éthiopienne qui disait des choses pas très agréables sur son gouvernement. Et avec l'arrivée du nouveau Premier ministre, cette donne a changé. Actuellement, c'est la communauté exilée la plus active, c'est la communauté camerounaise. Bien sûr, il convient de relever que dans toutes les communautés, vous avez des divergences de point de vue. Et en ce qui concerne leur statut aux États-Unis, la liberté d'expression est conçue différemment aux États-Unis et tout le monde doit respecter les lois. Si le gouvernement, comme nous l'avons relevé auprès des autorités, s'il nous envoie des éléments, des preuves, nous allons poursuivre ces personnes en délicatesse avec la loi des États-Unis.
There is somebody breaking the laws of the United States of America, and we will certainly follow up that information. And if it turns out to be so, then we will prosecute the individuals.
So, you don't hear my brother talk?
No, I checked the main message where I get them for that video. Now, message where I give encouragement for Southern Cameroonians, Ambazonians, and what they did for diaspora. Because that woman, they try for talk, say, why American government not cash people the way they draft or they support people the way they defend them their territory. So if talk say no, they never do nothing with them. Because they never commit any crime inside America. They never violate any American law. So you the fear, check say, oh, Cameroon government, we can't catch people them for a year because they be draft, they be do so. Something not there like that. He also talk for them. How would people them Ethiopia too be say they be do so. It be they talk some different video, they talk about Eritrea. Now, these same American people, they support Ukraine, so that they defend themselves from Russia. Now, they support Israel, they defend themselves. So, what we do now self-defense for we own territory. We know they now invaders inside La Republic. Yes. So, make some person, the fear for outside there. Check say American government, we can't do whatsoever because they can't frighten people. They give lies, say, oh, FBI don't talk say it will do so. This one don't talk say it will do so. All those things are not lies. All those things are not lies. Self-defense now a right inside America, and they inside the Second Amendment. Self-determination now universal right for people them. They should on themselves because no man will go to enslave some other person. So when I see them, even today, the same people they call we say Ambazonians because they know say will not be part of them. Cameroon map where they get the independence will not be being a part of them. So make wanna go join on LGAs and on counties, wanna defend on our own homeland. I know some of people will talk, say, oh, are already there for America, are they England, are they Britain, are they so, we should not for this. You never know. Anywhere you there, you still be a stranger, except for your home. But even if you don't already be well placed for that place for the, why you not fit think for whose side you will grow? Why you not fit think for people the way they not get opportunity for come out the place where you be there, go the outside. So you get for provide them with security, safety. You get for make them they get somewhere they call them say a home. Because you know we see people that kind of downgrade your own people. You should don't quiet. Even today, with chiefs and they la Republic, the worker they drag them, they go so, go so. Hey, when the chiefs them, they even a woman, it tell for senior divisional officer talk say, me she don't quiet. When he talk, he not get for talk. The woman talk say, you be who? He get for talk. So now the thing and that what they talk say, we get for fight, we give freedom for with people. Because all man we don't join CPDM or it all be for this kind things all of them they don't already be in a prisoner where they don't give them life sentence. So they not get freedom of expression, they not express themselves freely, they not get their own rights and whatsoever. When I don't see even La Republic, they catch journalists, go kill them. Only because journalists talk say they don't thief money. They catch journalists, go kill them. And then people and too they cry and all these things. We will not shoot out with people where they not respect with people, where they not respect with own culture, where we not respect with own villages. Where when they say they bring senior divisional officer a camp, he can't talk say it be chef test and you get land. Whereas with villages, them you don't be for there for more than 200 years, 300 years, 400 years. Then how come it will come tomorrow? Now he come instead of village elder, they for go move boundary for farm for people their farm. Divisional officer can't take land, it is sell them, it can't take all those things whatsoever. When we want to talk, they talk say, oh, wanna be cockroaches, wanna be Biafra, talk say they will do what you wanna. Where the people, where they talk, Cabral, be and the rest, say me they send helicopter, me can't kill all people, me they go do everybody do harm, make a state of emergency. With people need for the sleep for their compound free. They need for without fear. They don't need for the fear kale. They don't need for the work pay money for police and for road for all those kind thing. That is the reason why we fight for this thing for toxic. So we are equal people more than La Republic, and we get all it takes for a country to be very rich and successful. Of course, we be one of the richest countries inside Africa. Now, La Republic will not get nothing. Now, why that way it will hang on top of people because now for the way they can't chop. Thank you.
Now, see, my brother, we'll watch this video. We'll come back, we'll enter the tail end for this discussion.
Cameroon, and it defeats our argument of a genocide. For those who use genocide on social media, how can you be running away from a genocide and you're going to the place controlled by the genocidaire? It doesn't make sense. It flies in the face of logic. Who in the international community will believe you when you're crying genocide and people are leaving your area and going to the so-called area where you think that the people committed genocide? So it's, to me, it's a farce. It's a farce. Look at the people who were living in Bamenda, Kumba, and Boya going to East Cameroon. And it defeats our argument of a genocide. For those who use genocide on social media, how can you be running away from a genocide and you're going to the place controlled by the genocidaire? It doesn't make sense. It flies in the face of logic. Who in the international community will believe you when you're crying genocide and people are leaving your area and going to the so-called area where you think that the people committed genocide? So it's, to me, it's a farce. It's a farce.
Nah, about that. I don't know if we start talk about that shit we talk for them, but maybe we will talk first and then I'll join you.
Well, now say people like Baladem, you know, say Balabi don't go compromise with La Republic. And the day where they go release it, now you want a deal or governor, he will receive it. So now people them, where they not believe, say Southern Cameroon's now a country. They not believe, say we get right for justice. The bad thing for you, I say, about Bala talk say now, it be a human right lawyer. If you be a human right person, two things that happen, you not go be, you don't know who be right or who be wrong. That one mean like say you be intellectually dishonest. About Bala, you not understand. Like they say, don't know the whether it one be dishonest or what. You don't know the meaning of genocide. Genocide now for decide for kill some group of people, some people them because of who they are or because of where they belong and everything. Balage for no, Jesus said if I take them by your figures, say it says 6,000 people and they all die for Northwest and Southwest. I want to ask them for you, how many francophones them they all die for Northwest and Southwest? So if 6,000 people die for Northwest and Southwest as it claim, and no francophone it all die, is that not a genocide? It talks say people you cannot claim that you are running away from genocide. You are running away from genocide. Something not there for English, like where they talk say you are running away from genocide. Nothing exists like that. If you get for talk say running away from the side of genocide, because you run away from place of genocide, he did it. If Abobala, if you go for school very well, if you don't understand the concept of diffusion and osmosis, where sometimes particles then go for run from area of high concentration, they go for area of low concentration. So if you want me to say you did for inside a house, someone can stand for door, it pump fire, now hot fire inside a house for burn you. You go stay for day because you know will run for past go day. Now the way that you go for escape. So if people the feel freedom for we place, they not feel sleep well, they not feel do whatsoever, they can't kill people. They get for come up from that area sometimes, then they run, they go towards the other side. When we be there small together, we go to dig mole. Mole is show you inside your hole, very comfortable. What you go do? We carry grass, we can't put fire, smoke, it go enter now. It go cause the smoke, the mole. The mole knows that the smoke, it come up for outside. It will try way for run, for pass through the smoke in order for go for safety. So now the kind thing and that way people like this about ballad them for here, they don't even understand. I'll be very sorry say ye own people where they can't kill them. It can't it never even come where TV okay, if you no one talk say genocide, where you don't talk about small picking them like baby matter, mommy happy them, the rest the way they kill them and all the rest where the other people the way they can't kill them. So make Bala tell me, say what people get for do when genocide day. Do you run for protection? Do you defend yourself? Or you just stay, me they can't kill you? Because you don't come for the
Balai argument or Chiba Nelson. Balai argument be say or with people it try for say you know say one normalcy against all us an active man a lawyer then excuse my word first of all excuse even the word we are calling shit, but you realize and say lawyers native people, especially the bad lawyers. So it try for emotionally blackmail we for make it be say make me normal say they say any claim will claim about genocide, you know, will work if people they run enter La Republic du Cameroon. So how people go run from genocide enter for genocide they come. The argument for man way no get sense or man way no think I'm fine, go think say wait you talk correct. But the case matter, the subject matter, the war we will fight, this particular war. Cameroon oneself say, me or Amazonia come for their side. Can the war in Mercy? Namidia Bulu, Betty, Tontus own the land. Cameroon the problem where they keep people. Now, first of all, for intimidate them. So Agbobala no say na strategy for Cameroon. Now today we Ambazonian people don't start going to La Republic du Cameroon. I did drive for 2013. They go towards Kuseri. I enter some village. I don't believe my eye. When they see me say, oh, tu es Bamenda. So Nani Bamenda boy is, oh, bien, bien, je vais te montrer une de tes sœurs. I see a beautiful Bamenda girl. For an isolated village. After they call her Nana Gidi or something. Between Kuseri and Garwa. This girl did that village for years. You don't born picking. You get farm. You cook achu for selling for Bamenda people who stay in that village. You ask yourself, say, how it happen? You never understand. No place no there for the Cameroons. The smallest village where inside Cameroon you get Bamenda people. Why Bamenda people don't travel six? So you get genocide against Southern Cameroonian them. I got balance people for no say. Do generations so people don't go to school. So meaning they talk dirty talk. Listen, genocide no start today. It starts since 1961 with Ahijo invade land. The first genocide be cultural genocide. When they start, I grow for land for no say because he find pass Bagalam. How? Until today, even my brother for boya them, they still get that confusion for their mind. Say, if you don't sing song for Bulu, or you don't sing French, you don't sing because you don't sing Makosa, you know we make up. Look the song where Mr. Leo don't sing the past few days, few years, 2 years now. Now one of the best songs where any musician of Cameroon ever make, and they not go promote them because you don't sing for French. He sing for Lamsop. I tell you now where fool. I say P Square and sing for French before they go global. This Bamenda gateway it make this people America here now. Libyanka. He no sing for French. It is for billboard for Isa Hollywood. When I learn sense. So the genocide, it will be cultural. It will be military. When Ahijobi invaded with national territory in 1961, hundreds of thousands of our people will be killed. Genocide will take place. Genocide take place in 1992. Oh, no sabi. You might not because probably have been blocked even BBC. I know of Emmanuel Tumanjong, when big journalist at AP at the time, Kojo community feeling grand able work for American AP Press, American Press House. Kojo community be green for granting interview. I was a young man. You will get a sociality behavior to determine what information is going to the international community. We'll talk about genocide today because thanks to social media. Look at how much money in billions of dollars with Cameroon, the investor for journalists in Cameroon. Even when you know the state journalists, just the facts you the report for Cameroon, just in a way, so I may not report about them. You get at least 1.4 million yearly. So any blogger or journalist of Cameroon, that starts since 2016. Now whether the journalist don't just run and quiet and they talk about that thing because they vote in poverty. So the strategy for France and Cameroon be oppress you, impoverish you, so that any peanut will give you take-up. Hungry man, hungry do you? Most of the people wherever you are hungry. Hungry. The weak, the first strategy where I usually use now for disarm people. It make gun be restrictive. If the big we gendarme them. Una no sabi. Na me tell una. If me the born in the 80s. Na me can't tell una. We were born in 1970. I go back the boy way. So I go back the one can talk on Canada doesn't talk them because that one there is small man of Cameroon drink mimbo chop all their work na njoka mimbo. They need to read them. So if you talk that thing, so some man say talk sense. Here Bobala no situation talk and foolishness.
Yeah, director.
People don't run for Ukraine, enter Russia, or you know Sabi.
Exactly.
People run for Ukraine, enter Russia.
Exactly.
Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, you did talk. People and they would run even for North Korea. they did for America. I'll be very happy say you be talk about that cultural genocide for the Abobala. He be aware say Paul Biya he talk for Mo Ibrahim say they be want assimilate us with their majority. But I always say we culture or other kind of thing, so it disturb us. Okay, if Baladi talk say people where they run go for French Cameroon, it means it shows say genocide not there. Not there. That means say it shows say those people that they know they run away from genocide. Then me Bala now can explain for me. The refugees that they run go for Nigeria go for different places then. So those one that they qualify for talk say that they run from genocide or how. So now the kind thing and then why like we explain for the if we not digest plenty of this kind of thing for people them, they're not go even understand them. We will get PWG with infrastructure, with own government, or with all kind of them. They can't finish them all.
Marketing,
we get small,
all that in them. You know, to fight for this Abobala eating, they say by their fruit you shall know them. I talked for Dr. Passion a few minutes ago. I talk say, we know if determine we talk about Kwanga about creating an African APLM or that kind of thing. I say you know if you choose some people waiting for do. But I say two way people they do. It is different who they be. Now Abobala, I get some video I want for try for. I will play on next show. Just a few days ago, Abobala the interview for Al Jazeera. Abobala defined difficulty for talk about the ask he say is it about independence or something. Abobala Chumom. You shall say even them when they join themselves they talk for Canada and the confusion is them. That means they don't even know what they want. They fear for even talk categorically why they go for the conference. They say they want peace. So they only use the word peace for just manipulate some people. The peace. Who doesn't want peace? Before 2016, there was no peace in Cameroon. It was peace in its strictest definition. No get anything to do with hegemony. There was a French Cameroon hegemony over the Cameroons. And there was no peace. In 28, when people want to strike because of fuel increase in prices, Pobia say apprenti society, they say, come on, I'll cut your head. It talk for camera. International community is so quiet. So there was no peace. Look at people like Dickinson Wilfred and the others. They group themselves together, write petition, you Abobala write petition. Say, listen, may they look and redress the situations. We'll be at hand. What did they do? There was no peace because you never even get out to talk. They will slap you. They don't go now go intimidate you, manipulate you. You don't come out to talk nonsense or put that here. It be very unfortunate, Chiba. I want to play this last video.
No, go ahead.
So that make we finish the video, then begin to check in the direction where they talk the end. It be really unfortunate, say, we'll get people where you look, they stand up and down so. If you say they wear trousers, where they wear a skirt.
À renforcer l'amitié, les liens et la coopération entre le Cameroun et l'ordre souverain de Malte. L'hospitalité camerounaise restera toujours dans mon cœur. Vive le Cameroun! Cette visite a renforcé l'amitié, les liens et la coopération entre le Cameroun et l'ordre souverain de Malte. L'hospitalité camerounaise restera toujours dans mon cœur. Vive le Cameroun! Cette visite a renforcé l'amitié, les liens et la coopération entre le Cameroun et l'ordre souverain de Malte. L'hospitalité camerounaise restera toujours dans mon cœur. Vive le Cameroun! Cette visite a renforcé l'amitié, les liens et la coopération entre le Cameroun et l'ordre souverain de Malte. L'hospitalité camerounaise restera toujours dans mon cœur. Vive le Cameroun! Cette visite a renforcé l'amitié, les liens.
I said, the public crying out, I need to understand them. They crying out, happen. Well, why you laugh now? Ask question, you turn on and laugh.
Now that Grand Prince for Malta, no, where they will go bring
Yeah,
you
if
can
he
go
cried
make
as it's not I know. If
yeah,
cried as
well,
you don't do it.
you know, say they can do bad thing. No, we can go talk for the work they do. Go give something. They say me they go they make like the public go the work and fight against Amazonian restoration forces. He know say they do bad thing for them. You know, if you come for some country, instead for you for come up for they they laugh, you come out they cry now for cry. So, but you say don't die, it don't die too. You don't die.
Because they cry really funny me. You see, my Amazonian people, my brothers and sisters, today we bring all these things them. You know, when some talk they happen, something they happen, if I forget for dig deep into the matter, the genealogy for the matter, dig inside for move and for some way it will help people for understand things them. The reason we dig to these archives and I will make a more first, me not forget so soon who will be the people then way they say they live in Canada. Because their intention of make so many forget chicks say they don't change. Agbo. And friend they go to Canada. All them want them now one Cameroon. So they don't ever the talk say that they go now for me. And the way they want one Cameroon, me they forget about Amazonians. Go join Cameroon, get their negotiation. Ambazonia will continue which way they do and which way it do. When Cameroon was serious, they will group all of them come together. They will shoot on one side, so then they will shoot on we Amazonia the way we believe say our land supposed for free totally. Wait till you check. That talk about that talk.
No, you be very, very correct. Amazonia, Southern Cameroons, it all come to stay. So hate for good, they talk say hate for good, you know they lost inside pot. So there is no way. Even they make that a mago, even they cook and a how do not how Amazonia no feel lost, no feel disappear. Yes. Now balance itself, it can't organize them. I mean it can't talk. Say they don't go for they go Canada for go make semi peace there for Northwest and Southwest. By implication, it also say all man will be endorse them or it will go for the Chris Anu, the Marianta, the Akuro, the Yerima, the Ayuktabe, them. So all of them now for one Cameroon. But make no mistake, me they not come tomorrow. Can they fool you people? Can they talk say, oh, you know, we not be do so, we not be do so. And I don't understand the reason where interim government be talk say, you know, they collaborate with these people because some person they talk say, oh, why interim government not be go there? Me I tell you, the first Canadian talk where they be go do they come there, they say they want a greater autonomy within Cameroon. Now so we be. And then if interim government be go this time, they will reach for they say no water overstay, Capo Daniel say they not physically fight again, me any man drop it gun them. If interim government be go they come talk say no, it still need for must the fight. It need for must fight. The other one talk say need for must do so. Now the person will be presided this thing, it will talk say, okay, we will make vote. How when they apply the road one for down there, they will make vote. Majority carry the vote. They will talk say, okay, they will reach for there. All man be there for down. They go make vote. They say we will stop fight for peace in Northwest and Southwest. 10 people and they vote. Now President Sarkozy won. He not vote. Therefore, majority carry the vote, and with the talk say you will find a democratic country. So we not do they not do something democratically. Then you too you deny the results.
You
Or
want
even
change them.
yes, even if you go there, then they talk say no, they want to go for vote for see if they go for do continue for fight war or they go for do so. President Sarko will talk say no, he no will take it part for the vote. He will come out. They can't talk say okay, people will come and talk them 10, including President Sarko, do so. Now do so. They want to make the vote commodity. Therefore, me say it's Rwanda. He don't come up for the vote. So you people may understand something. When La Republique it project somebody for your newspaper or whatsoever, when I know say there on his side. When a youth baby still start with being a president, that real president, La Republique nobody ever call is a president. If you just call us a terrorism, when President Sarko can take over, now the same thing. But when the rest start to go towards that direction, La Republic, them, including the Jipon Rimingo and the rest, they say, oh, the interim government for Ambazonia, they don't get new president, a woman. Then after they say, nah, Chris Anu. So when they project you, you know, they project so a person, sure, for newspaper, they do so, you know, so that person, it work hand in hand with them. Because La Republic now we enemy. You know, if you be your enemy, you take picture for your enemy, go to advertise and for outside it. So nothing like that. Now, why that when I don't see Chris Anu say nothing really exists like Ambazonia flag because there's no Ambazonia, it's country like Ambazonia. You say independent and abstract and all these things. With it, all these things. With the third thing, so that means the home front, you know, say when I not get for stop lockdown, ghost town, all those things. May the genuine restoration forces they be careful for all the forces the way they be listen to the Marianta, the Chris Anu, and the rest because they will come after you for try for disarm you and they will do whatsoever those ADF. But wait, they themselves they don't know. Now say La Republic it will help it will use it will you will help La Republic for disarm or kill other fighters. Then after that they kill you. Now why that the one where they did the Arrow Center when I never see someone where they open some big store for some place say now because we surrender for war La Republic they go give you because all those people they will finish their how they be doing for April 6 coup d'etat. Now so they use they use Ivo they finish with it. They use Ayeke, they finish with it. They use Mad Dog, they finish with it. They use all these people that they finish with it. So we explain things and so that make with people that know because the lies for people that be very dear to us. Yes, we don't want lots of life in order for favor some person the way they for outside. You are a country, therefore belong to a county and an LGA. We don't talk say all of these mago they will fail and fail and fail for 61 years. They don't try for assimilate us. Honorable Wibabe said they want dissolve 2 cubes of sugar. They not dissolve them. So you now the never again generation we don't know what to a day. We don't know what to a day. So fine, we get for understand say okay. The only way forward, the only person, the only path now the interim government. Now to Dr. Sakoto talk. We be tell now. Say now only he write letter. He talk say this so. Send for the international community. Say no, they go Canada. You know they do so. We be talk say all the rest the day for day. But today when I don't see the result of where they come now. They don't take their money, their pocket. I don't forget even commando where we be tell you, yeah. It goes here, they go for Ayuta Bay, they go so. Secret juicing, it take it for go finish with you. For tell the public say I can do the job. I can help you to disarm the fighters and all the things. So the people that they found them, they sagat them where they did, they allocate them. All these people where they did, what are their grandpa them, all these people they did so. The only way now for join a county and LGA and fight in order to remain alive. Otherwise, these people, them, where they don't surrender for one Cameroon, they go can liquidate one La Republic. You know, will leave you where you be not go gone. Say me you work out freely for a country. Even they want, yeah. Even they want the way La Republic or whosoever, you know, a food them say me they travel go for some country for Nigeria or this or this. It will make sure say me when I not get nationality for those countries them. So that the time will carry, they go carry one and send them back for ye. Like how they be carry a guarantee, go send them back for ye. Then the next day they will finish you people. They talk say, okay, that is it. So we remain strong. Make we fund the struggle. Make we not harass with civilian population. Make with civilian population not say this. So any people like this body for a tanker where they work at the harass people. Maybe now restoration forces now the ADF. Now people ADF
now SDF them, ADF them.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Stay strong. Good.
Thank you very much, my brother. Your conclusion always been a prolongation. I appreciate you for your time and watcher, and I hope so you'll get quick recovery. Ambazonians, my people, thank you very much. I missed you too so very much for almost a week or more, and I've not been around. Like I said, it was a necessary call I had to attend to. And today you saw we had Dr. Patience in the studio. She's such a sweet person to behold, very respectful, very subtle in her speech. We spoke 90% of the time about the struggle, looking on everything that was happening on the websites and everywhere else. and reacting. She kept on tweeting. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do anything yet. And we decided that the show today was a must. In spite of the very tight schedule, the show was going to be a must. She really wanted to come here and be a part of the studio, and she succeeded. I appreciate you, Dr. Patience, for being a part of us today.